What-da-da-da-da-da. What's happening with y'all? Let me get it together. I see y'all. My bad, y'all. Gotta get it together. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Appreciate everybody, bro, in this mother effort. What's the damnest? So Warren G keep coming up, right? Warren G keep coming up and all these things. Snoop Dogg, talk on Warren G. Everybody speak on Warren G when they speak on they little history, doing their thing. So why not get a Warren G in the building? You know what I'm saying? Let's get a Warren G in here one time. Oh, come around to hear Shaq Jive, like G's for sale. Yeah. Let me hear you say, ooh, summertime in the LBC. Let's get it, y'all. Warren G in the building, y'all.
He was like, "Hey, blood, where Warren at?" And I'm like,
"Is that Suge?"
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that down the hallway?
I took off. Look, he came out the. I ran. I'm hitting the elevator, trying to get.
It's like that scary movie with the white girl. Like,
yeah, he called me. He called me at the elevator. It was me and my homeboy Cisco. He called me at the elevator and just grabbed me and threw me on the bam. Swear to God, I told him on my mama. I told him, I said, "Look, you don't get your hands off me."
Big Boys Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. Great to have this man back in the neighborhood, man. I don't even say West Coast legend. I just say legend. Mm-hmm. Warren G, welcome back to the neighborhood, bro.
What's going on,
Before
man?
we get into any legendary talk, man, did you bring any sniffing griffins with you?
Man.
I didn't bring none with
All right,
me.
well, this interview's over. This interview is over, man. Yeah, man.
Man, I tripped.
Right, it'd be great, lady. This ain't our last one. And I even hit up Warren. I said, "Warren, do you have any sniffing griffin, like the seasoning in the car?" He was like, "Nah, you should always carry like a little package in the car."
No, man. That was my bad on that one.
Yeah, it'd be great later, though. Or you want to postpone?
Oh, man, it's up to you.
hey, Warren, and before we get into anything that's Warren G, I remember, bro, years ago, and this is before like we really met each other. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I was waiting on you for something. It was something that we were doing. And I know we had met each other, but I was waiting. I don't know. This is back in the days before radio and all that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like waiting to hook up your phone. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Man, where this dude at?" And he was like, he called me. He was like, "Man, yeah, I'm on my way." So I was cooking some chicken. And now I totally understand, now that we know Sniffing Griffin and how well you cook, that you wasn't going to prematurely step away from this fried chicken that you were cooking at that. You know? Had you always been a cook?
Well, I mean, just being around my friends, pretty much. Yeah, you know, I learned it like from my dad. He cook a lot and he do a lot of different recipes and stuff like that, and just being a kid and being around that and the good environment and the fun they used to have.
Hell yeah,
you know,
everything that went with it.
Yeah. So it stuck with me, and I just like to do it when I'm with my friends.
The way you cook, I would think you would be fat.
I work out.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably what it is, man. Yeah. Like I look at you. I remember one time you was cooking at Dogg's, one of his events. Yeah. And I remember, man, you had the big old like smoker out there. It looked ridiculous. It looked like something that should have been in Mississippi. As big as this was. And I remember we had 8, and that was like the first time that I think you had a Sniffing Griffin. Yes. And I remember, we went back to get more, but everybody devoured it. Oh, yeah. And so we were standing over the grill like, man, that little burnt part right there. Like, you know, eating the stuff that fell through. Yeah, man. But you blew our mind, brother. And you make good music and you produce well and you rap well as well. But other than that, man, the chicken and what you cook on the other end, that's what we wanted to bring you in for.
It's all good.
Yeah, to celebrate that. No, but welcome back to the neighborhood, man. No, and we just got to talk about this legacy that's Warren G. You know what I'm saying? And Warren, knowing you for so many years, man, and we got another sit down that I wanted to do with you, that I just kind of wanted to pop in with you real quick, did you grow up, was music in your household growing up? You know, like a lot of us, it was like the soundtrack of our lives.
Yeah, but it was always around me. my dad is a huge jazz guy. So he used to just sit me in the house with him all day and just play jazz all day. You know, he get his little toke on a little bit and then just have me sitting there. And his friends would come over and I'd just sit there with the headphones on all day and just listen to jazz with him. But he was also playing, you know, like the up-to-date stuff, you know, like Earth, Wind, and Fires and all those groups of stuff.
Hey, man, did you know that you were paying tuition into the School of Experience by listening? Because, like, when you listen to Warren G, you could tell that you grew up on jazz and you know, like you had different genres of music by the way that you produced. You could tell that there was a vast, you know, a lot of music in your life growing up. At that time, man, did you know that you were listening and probably listening to music different?
No, it was no. I mean, it was how can I explain it? It's a feeling type thing, man.
But that's what I'm talking about with different too. Cause like even when you said the headphones, right? We didn't have cable TV, we didn't have satellite, we didn't have streaming, we didn't have phones and devices we didn't have 1,000 things that took you away. But music always took me away. Yeah. And it was 8 of us in the household, my mom, 7 kids. So if I put on headphones, I could go anywhere. And I would listen to headphones and I listen to music. I listen when they pan from left to right. Like I could hear that. I used to not only read the credits, Warren, I used to look at the wax, the vinyl, and see how they would scratch certain messages into that. Like and I read everything on an album cover. Were you that same way?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and it sets you up to what you're looking at right now.
Yes, indeed.
You know?
Yes.
Did you play any instruments early on, Warren?
Never.
Or anything? No?
Never.
You know how programs we all play like a trumpet, a flute, something they sent you home with.
I mean, I tried all.
I played the French horn, bro. I played the French horn. Straight up. I played the French horn. Cause I was a French horn.
But, you know, I tried that stuff, but it didn't work. But just being around my father and listening to the jazz, that was kind of like teaching me music theory without going to school. And then also being around Dre and the world-class wrecking crew and the DJing and stuff that he was doing, that also was inspiration as well.
Did you have an intrigue with DJing early?
Well, trying to be like Dre.
Yeah, yeah. Because you got to think,
I didn't have no older brother. So when my father married his mother, you know, though they became my brothers. Tyree and Andre and Mika became my sister. So it you know, it's like I didn't have no brothers.
Did you ever get on Dre's equipment early on, or was it a hands off? Did you have to sneak and get on equipment?
Oh shit! So Warren G, Daddy married Dre mama? What? I never knew that. Y'all knew that?
Equipment.
Well, yeah. He used to, you know, be practicing in the room.
Oh,
and,
shit.
You know, I was like, can you show me how to do that? And, you know, a little kid.
You're like, hell no.
I mean, he showed me. He showed me how, but just seeing him in there practicing and mixing this stuff, it inspired me.
And how old are you around this time, Warren? When you kind of like...
I had to be about, I say about maybe 11 or 12, maybe.
And so you seeing that and you soaking up the knowledge.
Yeah.
When do you go from seeing Dre in the house, DJing, knowing about this thing called, you know, the Wrecking Crew, knowing about where you... And I'm pretty sure around that time, are we familiar? Because we're about the same age. Are we familiar with 1580 K-Day around that time?
Definitely.
So you know that, you know, the mix masters, you know, Greg Mack, you know, you know what I'm saying? So you know.
Traffic Jam.
Yeah, so yes. and that was one of those things that we didn't get hip hop everywhere.
Nah.
So when we had something where it was either a specialty show, but when KDAY, 1580 K-Day AM, when they locked in, that was like a home plate for us.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
so when you go from listening to jazz, seeing Dre, your brother, DJ, what made you get into the creative space?
Uncle Jam's Army and Rhodium Swap Meet too.
Yeah. Uncle and
Paramount Swap Meet.
Hey man, let me tell you what Uncle Jam's Army. Roger Clayton was remember Roger Clayton, Mr. Prince, rest in peace.
Yes,
Roger
indeed.
Clayton was the first one that told me what turntables to buy. because I wanted to be a DJ.
Yeah.
And back then, you know, you had like a stereo and, you know, your equipment was funky. And I remember he said, you want to get you some Technique 1200. He said, if you don't get them now, you'll get them later. He said, get you Technique 1200s.
Yeah.
And I remember what Roger was, and I remember what Uncle Jam's Army used to sound like on produced commercials.
Yes,
and so, man, we were paying tuition, like I said, to the School of Experience. We were intrigued already, Warren, for this thing called hip hop.
Yes,
that when we look at the 50 years, we didn't know. We just loved what was going on at that time, bro. And it felt authentic.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So when do you get into trying to create music?
Man.
And it had to be like some what were you on, like realistic stuff?
Well, I had
Casio keyboards.
Remember the little drum machine with the little four?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
The little 4 circles on it. I used to mess with that. And then I had the Casio, like you said. I had 2. I didn't have no 1200s, but I had some little. I forgot what they was called. My turntables that I had, but they was just regular. Let me see. That was the realistic mixer with the vibe on it and all that. Yeah.
Were you DJing parties then? Were you known as a DJ? No.
I was just messing around trying to create.
Did you know what you were doing?
Not really. I was just practicing.
If you had to give yourself a title then, because you say you weren't DJing, if somebody said, what do you do? Which you said, like I just mix.
Yeah, I was mixing.
But you never did any mobile DJing, like.
Well, at that age, no.
Right.
I was real young, and then went to high school. After we got out of high school, yes. And when you mentioned Roger Clayton, he actually is one of the guys who gave us a platform for me to DJ live for people in the crowd, and that was at the Toe Jam. And he also gave Snoop a platform to let his voice go out, and people was picking up on that because everybody from Long Beach, Compton, Watts, L.A. used to come to the Toe Jam, and that's how a lot of our stuff spread it around.
How old were you when you and Dog met?
And
how did y'all meet?
Elementary school.
Damn.
Me and his older brother Jerry, we was both at CIS together. And Snoop's mom, Beverly, would walk Jerry and Snoop across the park. And we would, because CIS was right there across the street from the park. So actually, we would hit the corner store for a little bit, play some asteroids. And then we'll start walking to school.
What's Dog's brother name at that?
Jerry.
Okay, all right.
Dirty Left.
Yeah, that's
Snoop Dogg's big brother call him
I'm in my
Dirty
head
Left.
on the lyric right now, yeah.
That's Snoop Dogg's big brother call him Dirty Left. Yeah. And we used to walk. Beverly would walk Snoop and Jerry across the park to school, to CIS, and me and Jerry was real tight back then, and me, him, and Pookie, and we just went from CIS to Kings Park. Me and Snoop started hanging real tough at Kings Park, even though Jerry was my best friend, and Snoop ended up being my best friend, but. We used to be at Kings Park going to Cal State for the summer programs, free lunches, all that stuff. Yeah, and that's just how we just went through that whole young elementary school thing, all the way to Pop Warner football.
Everything that kids do around that time, riding bikes, Pop Warner. You know what I'm saying? Going to school. We're not really driving. We walking and talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Was he already into music at that time?
Always.
Right.
He was into music, and he was a comedian too, boy. He had bag on you all day. Yeah, all day. He used to, we got a lot of stuff that we used to be on the back of the bus, and he had just tearing the whole back of the bus up, either bagging on you or battling somebody.
It's crazy, man, how it's such a moment of time that we could speak on right now. And then when we see the whole picture and what y'all mean to not just hip hop, not just the genre, but what y'all mean to people. You know what I'm saying? If we were to take what and I mean, and I'm going a little quicker here though, but if we were to take you not introducing, Snoop to Dre and all that was deleted, think about how much we would have missed if it wasn't for this dude listening to jazz records, living, you know what I'm saying? Seeing his older brother, dude, you don't give yourself a piece of the accolades that you deserve. You know, and you never say it's about me and none of that. Like, we got to ask you questions to get the answer, because you never, you know what I'm saying? You never say I and me. You know what I'm saying? It was us and we, or you don't say nothing at all, man. So take me to Warren, where it's like, okay, now, and I remember, I don't know if you saw this interview that I did with Dog, but it's called Off Air. And Off Air with Snoop is one of the best sit downs that I've ever had with Snoop in my career, because we weren't talking about, you know, when's the new album, when's this. We were just talking about life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
And I remember when he started speaking about you, he was like, man, he said, Warren G is my best friend. You know, and he said that it was crazy because when he started hanging with Nate, he said early on, did you not really like Nate Dogg early on?
No, not at all. Not at all. Nate was I knew Nate, you know, we from the neighborhood too, from King Park, like the churches and all that stuff. Nate was off a line.
Or was it Nate didn't like him?
Now, he used to like just, I guess you could say, try to bully me. You know what I mean? Because he, you know, we grew up, but he was just like, you know, I was like, he just kept like Warren, you know, like just fucking, I mean, excuse me, just messing with him.
Right.
And you know, he kept on to where I finally was like, you know what, what's up?
Oh, you talking about Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
You know, so we didn't fight, but after that, it was like he respected me from then on. And then he got a chance to really see.
Salute. So fake, sweetie.
Right.
You know, what Warren really do.
Right.
You know, and I had a nice little punch too back then. So I was, you know, I ain't trying to brag or nothing like that, but I was putting hands on a lot of fools back then. And they'll tell you, you know, a lot of people will tell you, I was putting hands.
Hey, man, so in that interview also, man, Dog was like, man, you know, in the paraphrase, like, Warren was so protective of me. He loved me so much. He said that even when his wife came aboard, he said you was kind of slow on his queen too.
Ask him, how did he meet his wife?
Oh, really, Dog?
That came through Warren.
Everything came through Warren.
I walked right over to Shantae and I said, Shantae, my homeboy Snoop want to meet you. We was on Long Beach Boulevard over by the old hotel that was right there in McDonald's in the parking lot right there. Yeah, I think the hutch might have been tore down by then. But yeah, I told her that he wanted to talk to her, and from that point on, they just stayed together and was talking and just built a relationship.
Damn.
When he used to go over there, I would go with him. I wasn't like when you protective, it was just, I was protective of all of us, me, him, and Nate, just as far as how we was moving in Long Beach, you know, to try to stay out of the way of catching a bullet. You know what I mean? So that's the protective I was on, like, because I knew we had something, we just had to take time to try to get put on.
Right.
So I was, you know, even with when we was in hustling, I was like, man, we got to stop. Just stop cold turkey. Let's just get jobs and just figure it out until we could get put on.
Because
somehow.
You believed in the music?
Yes. Yeah, we had a cold buzz. We had a demo tape that was moving around called Long Beach is a Motherfucker.
Hello, title.
That was,
you know?
And I mean it blew up, and I credit DJ Quick and Richie Rich from 415 them for, you know, their inspiration, because they was both out at that time, and that's what made us do it. You know what I mean? So we said we wanted to represent for the whole Los Angeles.
You talking about like early on, like Rhodium with Quick,
well, before we was put on, we called ourselves 213 because we wanted to represent for all of Los Angeles, no matter where you from, Compton, Watts, Long Beach,
and that's
Carson.
when
213, the first area code we had. That's the whole area code 213, man. You know what I'm saying? The whole first area code is 213. That's why everybody 213. That shit 323, 424, all type of shit now.
213 was you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like now you see is it 727 818? Yeah. That 213 was like you didn't even have to pick up and dial. You didn't have to dial the area code.
Yeah,
it was just your home called wherever the hell you were calling.
Indeed.
So 213 is at that time it still is you,
me, Snoop, and Nate,
Nate
HD,
and Snoop.
Half Dead. Let me see. Just all our homeboys that was with us was 213. It was a lot of us.
And so you go from that, man, and you say you believed in it. Even when y'all were hustling, you was like, man, we got to stop this.
Yeah.
We got to stop this because you saw the bigger picture. But talking with Dog also on off air, he didn't see the bigger picture sometimes.
I mean, we would get caught up in different waves a little bit where we was getting a little rambunctious. And actually, me and him was the only ones that didn't graduate to the penitentiary. We graduated to the county.
Right.
We went all through the county system, but we never graduated to the penitentiary. But all our homeboys
more the JC, not the university.
Everybody did 10 plus. 10
yeah, man.
The most was maybe like 30 years. But everybody is out now.
Mm-hmm.
We may have, I think, a couple cats still locked down, but yeah. We
Dog told me this story. He said that he threw all his raps away.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like, man, this ain't gonna happen, F it. And he said he threw them in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go in the trash and get his raps?
Yeah. Yeah, went right in there and grabbed them. It once again, it was just like, this all we have right now to try to escape out of getting killed on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because we was, like I said, we was getting shot at, all kind of stuff. So this was our escape, the music. So he got tired of it because wasn't nothing happening. So he was just like, F this.
Right.
And I was like, no, I got the shit out the trash and I brought it back, and I was like, we got to keep pushing. Keep pushing to just stay out of the way of these streets and follow this, because we didn't went through some close ones. I'm talking about point blank range.
I can understand where you were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, we got to stay this path.
Yeah.
But I can understand where Dog was coming from too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, man, like,
I gotta get it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this ain't doing nothing for us. And that's. I mean, that's the pros, the cons, the real, and the dreams, and so on and so forth. So when we look at it in hindsight, it all worked out.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it's like, man, and then we about to, get in relationships, and people, people need things, and your family, and you look outside, and it's like, man, like this ain't paying no bills at all. You know what I'm saying? And nothing stops. How do you go from having this cassette tape that had 213 on it and getting that to your brother Dre? Because at this time Dre's moving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I hadn't seen him in a long time, so I just called out the blue, like, what's up, man? Just checking in, saying what's up. And he was like, I'm doing a bachelor party for LA Dre and come through. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come through. So I linked up with my homeboy Gangsta Rod and Kenny Mack. We jumped in I think it was a RX-7 back then. I was like, fuck it, I'll ride in the hatchback.
Right. Yeah, I get back here.
Yeah. And we went up there, went in there. It was a nice bachelor party, a lot of beautiful women. We from the hood, so we like blowed away with all the stripping. We
right.
blowed away. And they had music going, and I was like, I asked LA Dre, can I play this tape? Because they was kind of, playing the same stuff a little bit. So he was like, all right. So he grabbed the tape and he started playing it. And he was like, this is hard. He was like, who is this? I said, that's me and my homeboy Snoop and Nate. And he was like, did you let Andre hear this? I was like, nah, I ain't let him hear it.
So your purpose wasn't going to this party? Like,
no.
Man, Dre got to hear this.
No.
You just happened to have it on you.
I had it on me.
Right.
I mean, because that's what we was doing at that time.
Always.
What we used to love to do was pop it in the cassette deck I said cassette deck.
Right.
The cassette player in the car, and we just used to love to hear ourselves in the car.
Yeah, man.
So my homeboys, they loved our, me and Snoop and our music, so we had it with us every time we went somewhere. So he heard it and he was like, who was this? I was like, it's me, Snoop, and Nate. And he was like, y'all come up to the studio on Monday.
Right.
And,
so Dre heard it that night?
Yeah, he heard it that
night.
night.
So you put it in. What gets his attention? He just hears it?
He heard it and was just like, you know, how he do that with his head. He was like, oh, who was this? And I was like, that's me, Snoop, and Nate.
And he hadn't met Snoop or Nate at that time?
No,
or he kind of knew of him?
Snoop.
Okay.
He known Snoop for a long time.
Gotcha. Just from y'all being buddies.
Yeah. So, because we, had family fun.
But he had never heard y'all like that, in that capacity?
Nah.
Right.
I used to push him. I used to tell him Snoop could rap. Like, Dre, Snoop could rap. You should listen to him. Because I know he was messing with artists back then. I was like, you listen to him, he dope. But he wasn't trying to hear that. He was like, all right. He was like, oh, okay. Keep it pushing.
So what do you tell Dog after that party that night?
I went home. At that time, that protective thing again, it was a lot of people that was just kind of like trying to separate us a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like pissed off at that. So me and him was kind of at it at that time. But I said, and I'm going to be, I'm not going to act stupid with Snoop.
Right.
Let me call his ass. So I called him and like, what's up? And he was like, what's up? I was like, I want to talk to you because Dre wanted us to come to the studio on Monday. And he was just like, nigga, I ain't trying to hear that. And then boom, he hung the phone up on me. And I called him back. I said, look, man. I said, please let me call him on the three-way. And you talk to him. And we go from there.
Right. So
called him. And I was like, Andre, I got Snoop on the phone. Would you tell him that you want us to come to the studio on Monday? And he was like, this ain't Dre. And he was like, this is Dre. And then he was like, kind of like, oh, shit.
Right. Like, I ain't going to hang this one up.
And so we hung up the phone. I went and linked up with him. We had some old English and bud and shit, happy. Because he want to listen to us, So I think that Monday,
shout out Idaho.
Monday, my homeboy Rump, we jumped in his car. He had a Ford something where we had to drive all the way up to Hollywood where we get to the light, put it in park.
Yeah, man. Yeah, keep it going so the accelerator won't go down and cut off. Hell yeah.
We did that all the way to Hollywood to there.
Did you have a car at that time?
No, I didn't have a car.
Did Dog have a car?
Nope. We didn't have no cars at that time. But once we started we went to the studio, went up in Solar Records. Dre had a beat going, and it was hold on to your love.
Yeah, that In Vogue, that
boom,
flip.
Boom, boom. But it was that, and it was the Big Payback. It was mixed together. It was hard. Yeah, it was hard, and he told Snoop to bust, and Snoop did a song in there called "This Is a Gangster's Life." That shit was fire. I don't know why that never came out.
Oh, really? So he recorded it, or he just rapped it in the room?
He recorded it.
Oh man,
they need to put that out.
So right there, did it feel like something was happening?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it was happening because Dre was like, okay, and so we went back to the hood after recording and kept coming back and forth, and at that time,
North Crack-a-lackin' in the bit of South North Crack-a-lackin'.
It was Dre, Doc, and Suge, and they was like asking us like, what do we need? So Doc was like, what you need? I said, we need a car. So he cut a check, and I went and bought a black Monte Carlo, and it was a car for us to bring us back and forth to the studio. And then we kept working and coming back and forth. So Dre was just like, why don't y'all come up to the Valley and stay with me so y'all can get out them streets,
right? And
let's just work. So that from there.
Are y'all working on the Chronic at that time, or you don't know what you're working on?
No, we just was doing music, just working, doing music, just putting it. The working and working, just messing around, and then Dre and Suge came with the deep cover, soundtrack thing. So that's what set it off as far as.
How crazy was it hearing Snoop on deep cover?
Oh, I was charged up.
Yeah, because at first Snoop said he felt like he was just gonna write it, and then Dre was like, "Nah, jump on it."
Yeah.
So he jumps on it, And that record, that introduction to Snoop with Deep Cover and and you don't stop.
Yeah.
But you already knew that Dog had that in him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And you saw that early on. What does it feel like when you start to see the video and you start to hear it on the radio and you start to say, man, that's my homeboy Calvin. That's Snoopy right there. You know?
I was pumped up and just calling everybody all over Long Beach. Listen to the radio right now. Look at the video. Go on Video Soul. Look, like telling everybody whenever it was coming on, I'd call like, listen, just listen.
Were you in place with that when it comes to like Dog and Dre? Are you in place with that? Do you know exactly where you are, or did it feel like Snoop was going by himself? Like, damn, like hold on, like because there's no contracts or nothing that's solidified, y'all. It's just homie love.
Yeah, I wasn't in place. I had to figure out my role.
Bakerfield in the building. Shout out to Bakerfield, my Bakerfield buddies. The East, the South, you know what I'm saying, the West. Shout out Bakersfield. Bakerfield in the building.
Oh, you know, I could rap too, but I had to figure my role out. So I was like, I DJ. I can rap. You know, let me produce, and so I can provide, you know, have input and try to help.
Be at the table.
Yeah, you know, with the bosses, like having my input and helping this thing be successful. So I asked Dre to show me how to work the MPC 60. And him.
The same way how years ago he shows you the turntables. Now it's wow.
Him, Dr. Dre and Cole 187 both taught me a lot. As far as the MPC 60, and Drake, he showed me, you know, he started showing me some things for samples and stuff like that. So I started going to collect records, and he would, you know, give me like about $300, say go get some records. So I would go get the records, come bring them back. He taught me how to sample, so I would sample them and loop them and put them in there, and then I'd ask him like, what this sound like? You know what I mean? He'd be like, that's dope. You know, and I playing a bunch of different records like boom, 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 let me ride. That was a break record.
Oh, really though?
Yep, a dub break record from I had bought that dub record from out of Torrance. It was down the street from Audio Achievements studio, and he was like, that shit is dope, but he took that motherfucker and
oh my God,
started chopping it and building that.
Hey man, that Let Me Ride is one of my that right there. Oh my God, man. So at that time, are y'all working on the Chronic, or y'all just working?
The Deep Cover blew up.
Yeah, hell yeah, it did.
So that's when that introduced us into starting to do an album. You know, but it wasn't a name. It was just we were just doing music. One day, I remember it was a white dude came in the studio and he had this orange bud with the green. It was light green with the orange hairs on it, and he was like, "This is hydroponic." You know, I don't know which one of us said it, but somebody said chronic, like hydrochronic, like you know, say chronic,
right?
And then that's when the Chronic name started circulating.
So there was nothing before Chronic, as far as like
we were just working, like just.
Shout out to the Twitch shot going up. Shout out to the Twitch.
I'm talking about the name when Homeboy came in and said this is hydroponic or whatever it is.
That's how the name came about.
Chronic.
Snoop could tell you it was a white dude because back then a lot of the white dudes.
Yeah. That's where you had to go.
We wasn't getting that super duper like that, and That's what.
Did somebody say Chronic on accident?
I think it was Snoop if I'm not mistaken, it was Snoop that started calling it Chronic.
Snoop invented Chronic, cuz. Snoop invented Chronic, cuz. That's why he smoked so goddamn much. You invented Chronic, Snoop. What the fuck? Snoop invented Chronic, cuz. Oh, that's why. My shit negative. Snoop and fucking invented Chronic, cuz. What the fuck? Snoop?
Chronic, because the hydroponic. So somebody said, we looked at it as like, that shit is chronic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
damn.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how that started in there. So
Chronic.
that what was a trip was
Chronic.
it was that right then and there, and then the riots jumped off.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that inspiration right there was what made us, what created the crime.
Were y'all all together at that time?
Yeah.
And when we say that, I'm talking about, man, you know, is Daz there, Corrupt there, is Lady of Rage there, is Jewel there?
Yeah, everybody was there. Corrupt had when me and Snoop met Corrupt, they battled at the Roxy. So what I did with Corrupt was I did a demo tape on him. And then I did a demo tape, and then I let I let Snoop hear it first, and then Snoop took it to Dre and Suge, and they heard Corrupt, and they was like, he dope, we want to bring him. Yeah, and then Snoop, Daz was always, he was around us, but he was just a young buck around us then. But he was rapping and things like that then, and so Daz was always around us, but he came, you know, like not too far after we brought Corrupt in. Then Daz came in.
Was it all like group efforts? Now when you look back and you see business, oh, I should have signed this and I should have said this.
Shit, I wish I'd have knew about publishing back then.
Because you're just kind of throwing in ideas and we're building and everything.
Gang of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I even taught Daz how to play the drum machine. I taught him how to do the MPC 60 like they taught me.
Damn.
So he started helping as well. So like I said, I used to go get records. My homeboy DJ Money B, he had turned me on to a record store. I used to go buy a bunch of records, all the records, and then bring them to Dre, play them, sample them. Even as far as like the skit on there where it says like, you really don't understand, don't you? In order for us to make this thing work,
yes,
I really felt like that. That's how I was feeling.
Like that was like speaking for you in order for this to make us to make this work. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a skit that we used, and that was off the Mac soundtrack.
Hey man, how did Ain't No Fun come together?
I couldn't even tell you on that one.
No,
I walked in the studio. I mean that was it was a lifestyle that we was living while we was doing music, but when that record was being recorded, I had just popped in. I came to see everybody, was like, "What's up?" You know, came in, and Dre produced that record. Everybody be thinking I did Ain't No Fun. I didn't do Ain't No Fun.
I wouldn't even correct
Dre did that record.
I wouldn't even correct. I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, we did that. I did that record. No.
And I was like, shit. They was like, Warren, you got a verse? Bust
so
on.
what are you hearing that day? Are you hearing it ain't no fun? Like, and are verses laid already?
I think Snoop verse was laid.
Okay.
Yes, who back in the motherfucking
I don't. The hook wasn't there yet. What did I think? I mean, I just came in after Snoop. I just went off of what he was talking about.
Do you already come in the studio and hear Snoop? And did you already have, now you know, inhale, exhale with my flow? Did you already have that?
Well, that, you know, it was kind of like a, I don't want to, I was, I can't say metaphor. I mean, Endo Smoke was popular at that time.
Right, Mr. Grimm, Endo Smoke, hell yeah.
I took that.
Ooh,
like to,
now
you know, this is that
No.
same guy that was just on Endo Smoke, you know. So I started it off with the woo, hey, now you know, and then
inhale, exhale with my flow.
Came in.
Did you write that there? Inhale, exhale with my flow. So at that session, you was like writing that down.
Wrote the whole thing right then and there,
not knowing that y'all were building an anthem.
We didn't even know it. We was just having fun doing music. Yeah.
When you say, and then like even the count off, one for, you know what I'm saying? In my Chevy, 6'4" rag to be exact. You know, like that right there, bro, that never will go away.
Yeah.
And when you finished that, did you know y'all had a classic, or did you just thought y'all had a hell of a record?
Just a hell of a record, just having fun, doing what we love to do. Yeah.
That's still, and I'm talking about, man, and you've seen it, bro. You've seen it on the tours, the shows that you do. There's people singing to that song that possibly weren't even born.
Yeah.
When you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, a lot of parents.
And that is forever a song you could put the mic out to for that crowd, bro.
Yeah. When I'm doing the show, I'll let them do some of the parts, you know, because that's
leading up.
Yes. Well, the whole thing, you know, I let them do the song. I really let them do the song with me instead of just me, you know, doing this. I cut the record when I met you last night.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
they singing with me. So we doing this together. We having a good time. And I tell them, I mean that shit. We having a good time, y'all.
Hey, man, when they said, when I met you last night, baby. Before you opened up your gap. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was like,
oh, man.
I was like, this dude is incredible.
Were you on before Nate on that record? Or was Nate already on what was built up?
I was on before Nate.
Oh, my God.
I just went off of Snoop.
Right.
It was just that right, you know, like that long. We didn't say like, okay, you do a verse hook.
Right.
We just went however the format was going, and I heard what Snoop was saying, and then boom, I came right behind him because it was like how when we did our first
dog,
demo.
guess who's back in the motherfucking house? Yeah. For your mother. You were like, oh, that's how we doing this? You was like, okay, that's how we doing this? All right.
Yeah, because we back then we had we was you know, we young teens and you know we had friends all over LA, everywhere, you know, friends, you know, and being around Dre, so we was having a good time, like meeting a lot of beautiful women. Yeah,
I can. I remember that one. I remember. I don't know. Was it the show? It was one of them documentaries where homegirl was trying to get at you through the fence.
Yeah, that was the show. Yeah, that was a
What
trip.
was she saying?
She said she wanted to handcuff me and you know really do her thing. And
Hey,
I was like, I'm getting ready to hop this gate, but I couldn't do, you know, it was I had a friend with me.
Right.
And she was getting uptight. So
hey man, was it dangerous to have that much power around the world? Because we got to think, we look at each other now, we're like, oh man, you know, we're seasoned, we're grown, we have kids, thing. But to hand somebody the world in your early 20s, and you're already talking about smoking, fucking, and so people know what they coming for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How crazy was it to navigate through that?
It was just had to just stay. You just had to, you know.
Your dick is tired right now, huh? just want to ask you that question. His dick like,
no, just like you just had to navigate, you know. Just had to navigate, you know, take a break here and there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He said take a break.
You know, and the music, you like once again the music with that environment.
I think a big your dick tired, cuz. Your dick just tired. Your dick whoa out, Nate. Hold on. They getting that puss.
Environment that'll lock us in. We'd be in the studio from.
What is it
10,
like experiencing that with your friends though? Because you'll see some people that say, "Man, I traveled, I came back." I mean, with some people that you sat, you know, like really giving homies rides on handlebars,
slept on the floor,
slept on the floor. Like what?
You too smoke who? I'm digging that. That's exactly why I don't smoke with nobody. This dude is digging in his nose and smoking. Man, shut your bitch ass up. Charlie, you want some attention, bitch? Get your name right, whole ass nigga. Get your whole ass name. Don't hold no names. Just say some dumb ass shit.
What does that look like, man? When you like, man, we're in Texas, or you know what I'm saying? They playing they people know us.
We was on the jet, the private jets.
Yeah, before it was a thing.
Yeah.
Now everybody, you know now.
Yeah.
But that had to be crazy, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just tripping, just like, damn, you know, sometimes even Snoop, he'd be like, damn, G-Dub, we really in this shit. Like, we really did this shit. Like, he say that shit a lot. And, you know.
To this day. Hey, man.
Yeah.
What and I think we had this conversation before, but just for make sure that it's there as well, man. We're building so much, taking, you know, Snoop to Dre and being the producer, doing so much, man, 213, all the history that y'all have. And then when you get to where it's time for people to get signed to Death Row, why weren't you signed to Death Row? Because that seems like a no-brainer. Like, I brought a lot to the table. I did a lot. And of course, you're not going to say how much you did. You know what I'm saying? But you gave a lot up.
Yeah.
And when did you find out, or why weren't you signed to Death Row when everybody else was moving through Death Row?
I mean, I don't know if it was because me and Suge used to bump heads a little bit, in different things, you know. Like, for instance, it was one incident where a constituent of mine had went and told him that I told him not to sign the contract. Right. You know, get a lawyer to look at that contract before you sign it.
But you would tell your friend anyway, though, right?
Yeah, I did. I told my friend that, and another of one of my another constituent went and said that Warren told not to sign the paperwork. So he was like, "Hey, blood, where Warren at?" And I'm like,
"Is that Suge?"
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that down the hallway?
I took off. Look, he came out the. I ran. And because I'm thinking there was some stairs. I forgot the stairs was the other way. So I'm hitting the elevator, trying to get.
It's like that scary movie with the white girl. Like,
yeah, he caught me at the elevator. It was me and my homeboy Cisco. He caught me at the elevator and just grabbed me and threw me on the bam. Blood, you told them not to sign that contract? Swear to God, I told him on my mama. I told him, I said, look, you don't get your hands off me, I'm going to call my brother, and I'm calling all my homeboys. And he let me go. You know, and the guy I had with me, Cisco, hey, he's a gunner. But, I wouldn't have wanted nothing to happen.
Right. But you knew he was.
You know what I mean? But he was a gunner.
Did you feel like that was, you were out like then, like you knew that, like, yeah, this relationship done changed?
I mean, we was cool after that.
Right.
Even when I first met K-Dub and Trayvon, I knew Trayvon from high school, but I didn't know K-Dub. So we was on the elevator back then, getting on the elevator, and we got in. We bumped heads with him getting on the elevator, and when we got upstairs, then they had talked to Suge, and then he came back. He was like, "Hey, Warren, hey, look, man." So it was like another incident. We family up here, and that's where it started. We ended up becoming family up there.
Right.
Really found K-Dub, Trayvon, all them. We was tight. Montreal, E-Rock, Zeke. It was Karate Rob and Pooh. It was a bunch of us. Hen Dog. It was a bunch of us. We had all became tight around that time, and they would be in the studio with us while we was doing the Chronic, having a good time, blazing, drinking, Seagram 7 and 7-Up.
Hey man, when did you find out? And I think I know the story because I think we had this conversation before. When did you find out you really weren't on death row?
Well, I was building up to that. My bad.
Go ahead. No, do your thing.
No, I know I'm talking too much. Let me slow
No,
my
not at
ass
all,
down.
brother. This is
But when I knew I wasn't a part of it is when we was supposed to go out for the first tour, and everybody had everything in order, and I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no ticket, no information, no nothing. So I packed like I'm going. I'm like, shit, I guess they gonna get my shit when I get to the airport.
Yeah.
So got to the airport, wasn't nothing happening, and they had went and did their thing, and I was pretty butthurt.
So you find out at the airport that you're not going? Who tells you that?
I didn't have a ticket. I'm like, where's my ticket? Nothing happened. So they went out for a few weeks, doing what they was, on the road and stuff. And then, so when I had a chance, I asked Dre, I was like, man, what's up? What's going on? And he just was like, man, you got to be your own man. So like, huh?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
And this is after the Chronic
is
signed, sealed, delivered, like the Chronic is done?
Yeah, this was all
and you're a part of it?
Yeah.
visually, vocally, handing things in.
Yeah.
And so you have to leave the airport and watch the homies go on tour.
Yeah.
And you driving back to where you came from.
I didn't drive back. I think I rolled back I got a ride from my homegirl Samora and MC Breeze.
Damn. LA Posse Breeze?
Yes.
Go ahead
gave
now.
me a ride. Yeah, they gave me a ride. And after that, like I said, I asked him what was up. He's like, you just gotta get out and be your own man. But I still was coming around.
Right.
Still, I was DJing for him. Still after that.
Right.
I did we did the Santa Monica. That got kind of ugly up in there. But the video I'm right there in the back DJing that show for Snoop and Dre. But I just had to do what I had to do. Grab my drum machine, my MPC 60, my records, and my mixer, and went right back to my sister's house on Cedar, and was sleeping on the floor, and just digging through ideas.
I grew up on 23rd Cedar, man.
Finding records, still sampling and doing beats and stuff like that.
But not knowing where this is going to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that had to feel devastating.
Actually, that led up to me. That's how Indo Smoke started.
Right, Indo Smoke with Mr. Grimm.
Yeah, because I went over to the studio with Snoop and Dre and while they was working, just in there. I was coming to let them hear Mr. Grimm. Which
Another one that
the
you
song
found.
was Indo Smoke.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Grimm is dope. I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the dopest fools I know. So I went to see them. Paul Stewart and John Singleton was in the studio at that time while Dre was working on a record with Snoop for the Poetic Justice soundtrack. So I came in there. I asked Paul, are you guys looking for any more music? And Paul was like, yeah.
Right.
I said, well, can I play this record for you?
And for those that don't know Paul Stewart, man, I mean, Far Side, Coolio, Cypress Hill, Warren G, his list goes on, and he's such a good dude, man.
Yeah.
So you and Paul go to the car, because remember I met you before radio, and I met you at Real Deal.
Yeah, well, yeah. Paul.
Yeah, man, I met you through Paul Stewart.
Yeah.
eBay was looking.
And played it, and he was like, stop. He said, can I take the cassette tape?
When he told you stop, what did you think at first?
I felt kind of like,
oh shit,
like this. Here we go, or some bull, So he said, "Give me your number." So I said, "All right." So I gave him my pager number, and I had my. I don't think I had. I'm not sure if I had a cell phone at that time, but I did give him my pager number, and he hit me that week. And he was just like, we want this to be our first single for the Poetic Justice soundtrack. So when he told me that, even though I just went through all that other stuff with not being with them, that had really cheered me up. And I got a check.
Right.
So I was able to.
Much needed, huh?
Yeah, needed. Because I went and got me a car. I went and got a car, and then I just went and started buying records and getting music stuff, equipment, and just to produce. And then that introduced me to, even though I knew Tupac already through MC Breed, because I had produced the You Gotta Get Yours, I Gotta Get Mine. I did that, and then that reintroduced Tupac to me again for Poetic Justice soundtrack to produce Definition of a Thug.
Damn. Hey, man, ain't that crazy, that full circle of certain things too, though?
Yeah.
Hey, man, so when we hear Indo Smoke, right? And Indo Smoke is kind of like, that's you and Grimm. You know what I'm saying? So how does Indo Smoke go from Indo Smoke to where you get a look from Def Jam?
I really didn't understand it, but Paul and John hit me like Def Jam. Well, it was a lot of records. Jive, it was a bunch of record companies chiming in and wanted to talk to me because I had produced it. So when I got around to talking,
when you look at the label for Indo Smoke, does it say Warren G or it says Mr. Grimm, right?
It say Mr. Grimm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I produced it and I wrote parts in the song, part of his stuff too. Not his whole thing now, but I wrote some parts, like some of the best parts in that song of his. I chime the H&R Puff, the stuff in your lungs.
Yeah.
Smoking on the chronic, getting straight sprung.
Yeah.
Well, he did. We both was inputting, but I inputted on that as well. So they told me that Def Jam wanted to talk to me, and it was Tracy Waples, Chris Lighty, and Leora Cohen. And so I'm on the phone on a conference call with all of them, and they was talking about the record, like, yeah, we really like the guy, and he's dope. And I said, well, look, I said, I understand. I said, let me call Mr. Graham and get you guys connected so you guys can talk, and so y'all can go ahead and do the business, and you guys go ahead and sign him. And they was like, who's the guy that and it was like, who's the guy that's doing the rapping on there? I said, that's Mr. Graham. So he said, okay, yeah, that guy. He said, but it's another guy on the record, and he's rapping. And he had like this kind of like singing thing to what he was doing. I said, you mean the dude on the second verse that was doing the one, that right there? I said, that's me. Yeah. Look at him. I said, that's me. Yeah, man. He said, that's the guy we want right there. And I said, shit. I said, you mean y'all wanna sign me?
Right. And this is as a rapper. Producer, everything that go with it, but we want you. Yeah. We want your vocals.
Yep. And it was Sony, it was Jive, it was all kind of companies trying to get me, and I had to think about it. Like, damn, I started looking like which one of these is the best as far as hip hop. So I started thinking, and I remembered Crush Groove, Crush Groove, and B Street, and just and Eric B and Rakim, and how they used to say Def Jam, and Kara Lewis, and
man,
Def Jam, and all.
Names
So
you knew.
I thought about
Public
all that.
Def Jam,
yeah.
I'll tell you,
Yeah, I thought about it. I said, I'm going with Def Jam.
Paid in full.
Yeah.
Because that was Rakim when he was like, let's go count our money. Yeah. So those are the names you just kind of knew. And you was like, Def Jam.
Yep. And just looking at Crush Groove and LL, I was a huge fan of LL Cool J, the Fat Boys, the Beastie Boys, just all of them. I was a huge fan. So just to be a part of that because of Crush Groove, and then along with the stuff with Rakim and them, it was a wrap.
Hey man, tell me about putting together Regulate, because Regulate is another one of those songs too, Warren, that will, I mean, our kids are gonna play Regulate.
Yeah, I just was trying to be different, and wanted to try some hip hop over records like my parents used to play. Mm-hmm. So one day I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. There was a dude out there, like a bum, but he had records.
Let me get your bitch ass out of here, man. Get this bitch ass out of here.
Out there, anywhere I see some records, somebody with some records, right. I was like, man, can I buy some records? So he was like, yeah. So I said, how much? He was like, I think he said like $1 and something each record. So I just gave him, I think, like about $300 or $400. I took his whole
You
price.
bought everything.
I took it all.
Hella investment, huh?
Yes, indeed. And when I got back to my apartment, this was after I got my budget. I bought nothing but equipment. Got to my apartment and started going through the records, and that's when I ran across I Keep Forgetting.
Michael McDonald.
Yeah, I was like, this is hard. So I sampled it in parts and put the record together.
Good looking, David. Appreciate it.
Put the drums up under it, did some keys on it, and then I called Nate and I was like, Nate, I got this record. Can you come over to my apartment? Let's do this. I want to do a record with you like how Snoop and Dre did G Thing. Let's go back and forth.
Right.
So he came over. I played the record for him. Boom, 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 boom. He was like, ooh. He was like, that's hard, Warren. So I said, well, let's do a song together. Me and you back and forth. So the engineer Greg was right there. I don't know what the hell made me say it was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve, because we were saying skirts at that time, and that was a word for women.
Yeah,
trying to find some women to get catch up with to, get it cracking.
Hey man, so did you have that written already? Like, man, I know this song right here. This go perfect.
No, we did that right on the spot. I started off with that, and Nate,
so that wasn't written. It wasn't clear. That wasn't.
Nah, I swear to God, I went straight off the head with that. Yeah.
Hey man.
And then I started writing after that, just to keep it going.
Were you and Nate feeding off each other though?
That's exactly. Yeah, I set it off, and then he came in.
Just hit the east side of the LBC.
Yeah, and then I go off of what he said, and then he'd come back in,
and
then
left on 2-1. Oh my God!
And we got stuck on the hook part because we was just stuck. Like, what the hell are we gonna do? For the hook, so we just said, you know what, it sounds so good, let's just let people take their imagination with what we were just talking about and think about what we just said.
Right.
So let's give them that imagination.
So the hook is no hook. As far as like,
no hook.
Yeah, it's not like regulate. Yeah, it's just so it's just like Nate Dogg and Warren G had to and then you
straight music.
And and now you're thinking until the next one come in.
Yeah. And Nate came in. I laid all them busters down. I had my glass.
And now putting my mind back into freak mode.
Yeah.
If you want to sit back and observe.
I just left a gang of those over there on the curb.
Now Nate.
Vernon Jr., look at him.
Got the man.
And but how the name Regulate came about, I was just tripping off of the things that Nate was doing because he was pretty much coming to ride on the fools who was tripping on me.
Right, yeah.
So at that time, when we was around the death row era, all that stuff, when we would if it's a problem, we would be like, we gotta regulate that. Like, hey, y'all regulate that. So that was a name we were just using around our little circle. And so I said, why don't we call it Regulate? Because that's what we doing right now. I don't know how it happened. But I was looking at Young Guns, the movie Young Guns, and I was looking at that. I was a huge fan of that movie, so I used to watch it all the time. So I'm looking at the movie, and the dude say Regulators.
Yeah, Regulators. It's not about earning your keep.
No, he said we work for Mr. Tisdale as Regulators, and then he said something. He said a few more words, and he said we regulate any stealing of his property, and we're damn good too. And then he says something else, and then he go down and he say, but you can't be any geek off the street. You got to be handy with the steel, you know what I mean? Earn your keep. So I chopped. If you listen to the original, how he said, you'll be like, damn. He's saying Warren just took this little bitty part here, that little bitty part
and
there.
had it make sense.
Yeah, I made it.
And we know as soon as we hear Regulators, mount up. Like it's
now that
gone.
part, that was from when Hermelio Estevez was Regulator. Mount up.
Oh man.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey man, with you coming with something like regulate, and I want people know Regulate now.
Hard,
but I want people to think there was nothing that felt like Regulate at that time.
Nah.
Did anybody tell you, man, that's not the record?
I don't even want to tell you.
Who?
I mean, because I was crushed.
Who told you it's not the record?
It's our guy.
You say it.
You already know.
Who?
Our the good doctor. He didn't like it. He
Dre told you that's not the record?
He didn't like it. Swear to God. I was crushed. I talked to I told
and he heard the Regulate we hear now?
Yeah,
like he heard Regulate.
He heard it because this is watch this. So he heard it. He was like, it's all right, you know. And then when he do that,
Dre was hating. Dre was like, it ain't me. I ain't on here.
He ain't fucking with it.
Right.
He ain't messing with it. So I asked Mike Lynn, I said, Mike, come listen to this record, man. So we went and sat in my car, listened to the record, and Mike was like, he said, that shit hard. I said, you like it? He was like, yeah. He said, let me take this. He said, can I play it for Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
I said, hell yeah, take it. So he took it and played it for Jimmy. And that's
Jimmy Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine.
Yes,
and Jimmy Iovine they told Mike, they called me and said this gonna be the first single off the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Damn. Hey man, have y'all had that conversation? Like, man, my ear was bad that day.
Nah,
I was in a bad mood. Sorry.
yeah.
Nah, we ain't never had.
Dre probably be like, man, he didn't play me that. Like,
We
did it
never,
take anything? But you immediately
Warrant. Appreciate it. What's that? Anderson. What?
got dude back in the car? Because did Dre tell you that it wasn't it, and then immediately you got validation, or did you have to walk away with it like for a week or two?
Nah, that was the same night.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to go hang out. I go hang out.
Were
in the
you
studio.
crushed when you heard that? Or you just like, man, like
yeah,
Dre
I was
ain't
crushed,
hearing
but
it.
I was used to it, you know.
Right,
because
right.
when he don't like a record, he just don't like a record.
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is. So I was like, oh shit, he don't like it. So Mike Lynn liked it, and he took it to Jimmy, and then Jimmy hit Mike back and tell Warren that we want that to be our first single. So I had to tell Def Jam, Death Row want this to be their first single, and they was kind of acting funny at first, so I said they want this to be the first single, so we made it happen to where Russell and Suge and all them talked, and we went ahead and dropped it. As
So
the first
where
single.
is Regulate? Is Regulate on Def Jam or is Regulate
It's on Def Jam. I was signed to Def Jam,
Yeah.
but I was a Def
Like an
Jam artist, so
Interscope?
it's a Def Jam record on Above the Rim soundtrack.
Through
because I'm
Death
related
Row.
to all these
Gotcha.
guys that's over here, so it makes sense for me to. They went ahead and let me do it with Death Row, and but Def Jam was so smart. What they did is they let Interscope push the whole thing. The Regulate blew it up. That whole album did like 4 million copies off that single. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
that's
they,
a hell of
they-
an investment
they-
for that $300-400 in front of Roscoe.
for real. And then what they did is they took the single again and resurfaced it after it died down from Above the Rim. Serviced it, and pushed it again as new single by Warren G. Regulate again, so it caught fire again for my album.
Is it crazy when you thought like, dude, I'm an artist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
quite well. When I seen like a royalty check, which I didn't even know nothing about, I was like, because there was a lot of people getting at me like, we want to give you a publishing deal. I was like, shh, what is that?
Right.
So they was offering me like a lot of money, and it wasn't millions or nothing like that. It was like 300,000, 500,000. Back then, that was a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
And
at 11:37 while we sitting down, that's a lot of money.
yeah, you goddamn right. Let me take that back. I didn't mean it like that. Like I'm filthy rich. I didn't mean it like that. I forgot where I done logged big. You done got me lost again. What were we just talking about?
I don't know.
Royalty check.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, but
Thank you. She's younger.
A lot of people was offering me money, so I said, damn, if they gonna offer me that, I could probably make more. So I said, you know what, I ain't getting ready. I said, nah, I'm cool. I don't want to do it, just to see why they offer me all this money. So I didn't understand the publishing or nothing. I wasn't thinking about it. I just wanted to do music. So when I seen the first check, I was like, shit, this is what I can make by doing the stuff I'm doing? And I was just like, whoa. So I was like, I ain't doing nothing. But
did you know
that's what like made me realize that I'm really an artist. I'm really a producer. I'm really like in here in the same industry as Dre and NWA and Run DMC and you know all of the artists that was before me. I'm finally in the same industry with these guys. So that right there let me know that you put in work, Warren. You official now.
Man.
And I came right home and bought me a 600 Benz.
There you go.
That's
With the top.
See how we do it. See how we do it. Did you own a house at that time?
I had 2 houses.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Hey, 2 houses, 2 apartments. I had a condo right there in Century City. I had a house in Lakewood. I had a house in apartment in the Valley. I
All
had a
that
house,
unnecessary shit.
Another house in Long Beach. It was a lot of stuff.
That's
I
part
bought
of
my
your
mama a house, bought her cars, all kind of stuff.
Off of music and a dream, bro.
Yeah.
That is part of your story of you saying like that's how you felt being an artist. That song for me is the song that made me fall in love with hip hop.
Which one? Regulate?
Regulate.
Yeah, man.
How does that make you feel knowing that that song is so much a part of their lives?
And that's a lot of people first love to hip hop.
It's incredible just to know. Oh, and to see and people come to you saying that was the that was the soundtrack to my life.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a trip. I ain't done yet.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah,
at it.
You hear that and you were like, man, that was just about me and my homeboy talking about fucking some girls.
Yeah. Man, that feeling is it never go away. Like,
yeah, man.
The feeling I always, what gives me this incredible feeling and make me just say, you know what, I'm getting ready to just go bananas, is in the movie where it started right after Tupac when he, when at the end of Above the Rim, and they showed Tupac and he did that little, and then all this, and then the boom, 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 boom. Oh, I felt so good, and just that feeling that the era of that time, just to have that feeling. And everybody feel the same way was just incredible, and it's still like that when I do my shows and when I'm up on stage and it's
God of the South. Salute to God of the South.
It's a habit for me to do that chords string like I did in the video. We brings, and when I'm doing that, everybody doing the shit with me.
Hey, man, and you know what I love, man, is how when you do this DJ acapella at the end.
Oh yeah.
And that's how you walk off the stage.
Yes, indeed.
And hear the crowd give it back to you.
Oh yeah.
And then that picture, and then you walk off.
Oh yeah.
By yourself.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Warren G, for real, for false. I'm just gonna ask you some questions. If they for real, it's false for false.
Okay.
Big you out your mind. All right, now he created the phrase "these nuts."
True.
Yeah, man. For real.
For real.
Yeah.
Legend.
So how did that? Yeah, man. How did these nuts come together?
It was a thing once again that we was doing, and once again we working on the Chronic. I told Dre, I said, man, turn the mic on real quick. So he turned the mic on. I told him to start recording, and I called my homegirl and just called her just to have a conversation. And at the end of it, I was just like, hey, did what's your name them get at you? And she was like, who? And I was like, these nuts. And then she was like, oh, shut up, boy. Shut up. And that was the whole skit right there that set off. If I had some nuts on the wall.
Right. Hey, man, she know that's her, right?
Yeah, she
so
know.
that's her legacy too. Like,
yes,
girl,
indeed. That's
man, you told me these nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She all up in the video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? all at the shows.
Yeah, that's my own girl.
Hey, man, were you planning on for real, for false, Warren G? Mm-hmm. Were you planning on bailing out Tupac from?
For real.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
Explain that.
Well, I heard that he needed to be bailed out, so I was up in the Bay. With Richie Rich, and Richie Rich and Pac was real tight, super tight up at that point, and me and Rich was tearing the town up, mashing through our trucks, parks, everything, wheeling around. I had a stinking Lincoln on D's. We just all tearing the town up, and he told me what was going on. So I told him, I said, man, please get at Pac and tell him I will bail him out. I'll bail him out, and he ain't got to pay me shit. Just if you give me a feature, I'm cool, but I was going to give him the money to get him out, but Suge had beat me to the punch.
Damn.
But I swear to God on my mom, I was getting ready to send all that money to go get him out.
And this is before you guys had a chance to work together?
No, we had worked together.
Yeah, worked, yeah.
Yeah, we had worked together, so it was, and I had the money, and I didn't want him to be sitting in jail. So when Richie would tell you, I told him straight up. He might have the letter that he wrote Pac and to let him know that I was trying to bail him out, and I think he was trying to get at Atron or somebody to make it happen because I was gonna bail him out. I didn't want nothing.
Had you talked to anyone about that?
Nah, I ain't never really.
So it was just like great minds thinking alike. It wasn't like somebody went to Suge and was like, "Oh man, Warren thinking about bailing him out."
I might have been talking too much or something. I don't know, but I was gonna send him the money.
Snoop Stucking.
What was your relationship like with Pac?
We was cool.
Yeah.
We was cool. Just, you know, he like understood me back then, like the things that because I was going through some shit, and he really understood me. That's while we was working together, and we just kind of bonded right then and there. And he went through some stuff while we were working, and he took from what I was talking about to the things he just went through, and he created Definition of a Thug Nigga, and then he created How Long Will They Mourn Me just off that session.
What was he like in studio? Because you guys were working together when everybody wasn't emailing tracks, and you were in there.
Shit, I walked in, and he was just cool, just sitting there. The one of the beanies that had the little long,
the A-hat thing.
Yeah, that little long thing on it, and he was sitting in there rolling, doing cutting a blunt up, putting some bud in the blunt. And we just started laughing and conversating off top, before we started working.
Did he work like how people say, like, man, he'd get in there and could knock a song out quick? Did you see that?
I witnessed it.
Yeah.
But what had me really charged up is he had some beautiful girls come up in there. And I had glasses on. My glasses was all broken stuff, so I was kind of embarrassed, but they were showing me a lot of love. Yeah. And I mean, he was so cool, and he asked me, he said, Warren, he said, pull something up, and I just had a bunch of discs, and I just started popping them in and playing them. So I popped in this one that was I think it was not Donny Hathaway, it was a Bird, God dog it, Donald Byrd sample, Wind Parade. It popped it in, and boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. He was like, I want that one right there. And I was like, okay, cool. So we had a conversation earlier. He took the beat and he just said, all right, I'm fixing to write. So he went in the booth, and he was in there. It had to be probably like 30 minutes. And he came back out, and he was like, I'm done. And he went back in the booth and recorded it, did some little bit more, and then he came back out, and then the engineer turned up the speakers because they had headphones on my head.
So you're not even knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there while he doing that. I got my headphones on looking for some more music to play for him. So he came out, and they played it, and I was like, this nigga just said some of the stuff that I just told him about in the song. And he was like, Warren, I need you to put a hook on it, do a hook.
Oh.
So that's when I pulled my turntable, my mixer out, and I was, Ip tears the season to be served. And then I got the Richard Pryor, Ip, what you doing? And then took Snoop voice, mobbing like a motherfucker. Ip tears the season to be served. Ip, what you doing? Mobbing like a motherfucker. And then I started mixing that Nobody's Closing Me Out of My Business, the same record that I used on the skit on the Chronic. I started scratching that. No one's closing me out of my business. And that's how it ended.
And that's legacy.
Yeah, it was dope. We did that record at Echo Sound.
We celebrating 50 years of hip hop, bro.
Oh yeah.
And you are such a piece of that puzzle, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thanks.
Not only the imprint of Def Jam, where Def Jam was at when you came along to Def Jam, and it, and keeping it real, it wasn't the heyday of Def Jam. It wasn't Public Enemy. It wasn't LL Cool J. It wasn't the Beastie Boys. It was like this guy from Long Beach is on this East Coast label. You know what it felt like. But just what you have given to hip-hop, the things that we know, the things that we don't know, the things that maybe you and I share, you know what I'm saying? But your contributions to this genre.
Venting like a motherfucker. They were probably like, more crazy.
Nah, man. You know what? I feel like you're not, because I'm like, how could this dude not tell the world his true story? You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
but some of that stuff we be talking about, I don't.
Oh yeah. Some of the stuff you can't say anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, come on now. But Warren, it's always a pleasure to have you in the neighborhood, man.
That's all good.
It's been beautiful watching your journey, and like I said.
What's up? What y'all want to do? Y'all want to double back? Y'all want to get another Warren G? You got another one back to back. Let's go one. Fuck it. We're still early. Fuck it.
Say, man,
I was ready to call it quits, but I see y'all in here wanting to fuck with Warren G. So let's get another Warren G up here, bro. Big boy, Warren G. Second interview. We got a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? All this shit historic. Yeah. Off air.
Big boy off air, Warren G. Man, thank you for sitting down with us, brother.
Hey, it's our pleasure.
Come on,
as
brother.
Always.
Come on, man. Warren, we've known each other probably 3 decades.
Yeah.
And we've had a chance to have some great moments, great dialogue. You know, I'm a fan first. You know what I'm saying? You was in the business doing what you were doing before I got into radio. You know what I'm saying? Even now, fast forward to today, I still watch your shows from the audience.
Oh, yeah.
I admire what you do, bro. And sometimes, Warren, I feel like you're the most quiet in the room.
Yeah.
And when I say the most quiet in the room, you know, we come from a genre or just a lifestyle where we talk upon ourselves, we're braggadocious, we want people to know exactly what we're doing. Yeah. You've never been that guy. You know? Do you feel that, like, you've never talked up on yourself like how you should?
Big dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I probably, my thing is I just don't like drama. Mm-hmm. I don't like to get into no arguments or no, you know, anything like that. Or brag, like you said, or brag, you know, about what I do. Because, you know, I look at it like it's somebody that, you know, that I ain't a show off or trying to, you know, outdo anybody. I just do me and do the things that I do.
But that's you by personality as well, though. Huh?
But as far as like speaking on the things that I've done, I mean, I just I should have been more vocal. Yeah. And I am gonna start being more vocal with speaking about, you know, a lot of the things I've done. So, you know, the newer generation, my kids, they can all know the things that I've done.
It's crazy because there's times, man, we'll start off doing things and we do it out of love. We do it out of, you know, it's new to us. We do it out of making sure somebody else gets down and somebody else look good, and we're lending helping hands. Then you fast forward to now, and it's like, man, I didn't get the paperwork. I didn't get the credit. I didn't get the acknowledgement. Yeah. And, you know, and those kind of things happen. Yeah. Fast rewind to me, Warren, and we've had these conversations many of times, man, but we never had a chance to do it in an off-air. When did you really start getting into music? Not making music, but just enjoying music.
My dad, when I was a kid, my father, when he separated from my mother, she used to send me over there on the weekends, and I would just sit there with him, and he would just play just jazz, smoke his bud, female friends and stuff coming through.
How old are you around that time?
I had to be maybe about 8.
So you soaking this all in, not even knowing that this is tuition into the school of experience. That's the same with me. Yeah. It was my brother Keith that made me fall in love with music, you know, with records and reading, you know, the credits and looking at a record and seeing the grooves where the groove. I was fascinated by all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you were as well. Yeah,
yeah. My mother, she was a blues lady. So, you know, I had to listen to B.B. King and all of them as well. Yeah. And that kind of was what kind of gave me like that storytelling type of vibe about what I do.
So you grew up with music as a soundtrack to any household in your life? Yeah, same.
Even church.
Yeah,
you know, but in church.
But you can hear that in your music. And you know what I'm saying? Because we could put all, you know, but that's why when you say G-Funk, there's something to it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that's musical and it's melodic. And that comes from, I think, from us being around and absorbing so many different genres and all this different kind of music as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? When do you go from just listening to actually like falling in love with it and not making it, but just like you knew that this was just something that you always wanted to be around?
I'll say, I'm gonna go back to this again. When I used to see Andre mixing, doing mixtapes, and I asked him one day to show me how to DJ, and he showed me. You know, with the I think it was called Shaheem. The It's Time.
Oh yeah.
It's time. You know, he showed me.
That all not fish.
Yeah, how to mix, you know, how to DJ pretty much. Well, mix, DJ, and you know, cutting it up like as if I was.
Because you already love music.
Yeah,
before,
I already love music.
And when you say Andre, for people that's probably just checking, it's Dre.
Yeah, Dre.
Dr. Dre. Yeah. But you had already loved music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when does Dr. Dre come into Warren G's life?
It was around the same time when I used to go see my dad, and I probably was like 8 around that time, about 8 or 9 then, maybe somewhere around there.
And what was the relationship again? Cause I know we spoke
my
about it.
My father married Andre's mother.
Gotcha.
Verna.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this is a young Warren and pretty much a young Dre as well.
Yes, indeed.
And Dre was already into music further than you.
He was DJing. He was with the World Class Wrecking Crew around that time, and he used to be with Jinx and them. I forgot the name of Jinx and them crew. It was Cube, Jinx,
right.
Dazzy D. He used to be around them too as well. But the World Class Wrecking Crew is.
Cause I remember early on, Cube was CIA.
Well, it was CIA.
Right.
Yeah. He was working with CIA. Well, he used to be around CIA because he had got kicked out the house, so he had to move over that way. And then that's when he started working with CIA. But just falling in love with music, I fell in love with the mixtapes that he used to do, from him showing me how to DJ and then watching him doing it and doing the World Class Wrecking Crew. When he had the records.
He said the homie dubbed it for me. It's crazy. That Chronic is different, huh?
Surgery. Records. Mixers.
Yeah.
Turntables. Yeah.
Speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
All of that, I fell in love with all of that, with all of that stuff. And along with still going back down to Long Beach, and rolling with the Voltron crew, which is the guys I talk about on this DJ. So I would still go down to Long Beach and get scooped up with everybody by Steve, and we go sell candy like in all these different places all over LA. And we would, on the way back after we finished selling candy, we would be battling and freestyling and all kind of shit. Snoop, all of the twins.
Not knowing what this was going to become, though.
Not knowing.
You know what I'm saying? So Snoop is selling candy. The twins are selling candy. You're selling candy.
Yeah.
So we got whoever's driving. Steve is the one that's picking y'all up to tell y'all.
Yeah, Steve picked us up.
He got platinum.
Yeah.
in history in his van.
I mean, shit.
But wasn't it different when you did it then for the love of it and how new it was to you, bro? Like, I grew up with everything in the house, the Temptations, Gladys Knight, Commodores, Jacksons, whatever it is. But when hip hop hit, and I love that. I love that. But when hip hop hit Warren, hip hop was mine. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop was mine, bro. It wasn't like I love anything that was before that, but this was the thing, bro, that I got, that I was like, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I used to love to go get records, not even knowing what the records were.
Oh, yeah.
I would go out on quests just to find certain things. And you know, you can find hip hop now, but you remember we had to try to find, it was a bin if you were lucky.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the radio, but it was just this thing that I fell in love with, and I know you did as well.
It's major.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You know, just, I mean, like, being in there freestyling with all my friends and selling candy, like you said, I felt like we were just saying, I fell in love with hip hop as well. So the combination of that and being around Dre and my dad and my mom, all of those were like the how can I put it? Like it was like the steps. Each one was a step to me loving music more and more and more.
And it's crazy because at that time when you just living it, you probably don't know what it is. Like this, you're filling up a blueprint for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't even know it.
Yeah, from something that you love. How did you and Snoop meet? And at what age?
Let me see. First, me and Snoop, we met at I probably was like in the fourth grade, and his brother Jerry was my best friend. So Beverly used to walk Jerry and Snoop. They'd be walking across the park, and I'd be
that's
coming
moms.
up. Yeah, moms, and then I'd be coming up 20th to Orange, and I would stop at the liquor store, play asteroids, get some now laters, and then. And on my way walking to school, I bump heads with Jerry and Snoop. You know, but Snoop he didn't go with us. He went to another elementary school that all the kids, the good kids wanted, good kids got to go
wanted
there.
To go to that school.
We had to go to CIS, Gladiator School, me and Jerry. So me and Jerry was best friends. And then I used to be around Jerry, so all of us kind of, all our relationships started, as far as me being friends with Snoop as well, along with Jerry. With all of that started at Kings Park. The Twins, that was our epicenter. That was our home. After we got out of school, we'd go home. If we had homework, do it. Next thing, we at the park, playing bad.
No, for sure, top 5 producer, for sure, he did his thing, bro. And he did his thing and all type of stuff, even with that Jeezy song. Like, he did that Jeezy, Warren G, man, that was hard. I'm like, yeah, Warren still got it.
Basketball, or if it's swimming, or just playing the little,
like
the game, the game where you had to hit the little circle on the little mountain.
Yeah, little caroms and everything. Yeah,
yes indeed.
Hey man, and it's crazy because we had to create so much. Like we didn't have phones, we didn't have internet, we didn't have satellite channels and streaming. So you were outside.
Yeah.
And you were. It was different ways that you kind of built, bro. You know what I'm saying? So coming home, wanting to get outside and be amongst your peers.
Yeah.
You know, and playing caroms or any after school activities that no one even do anymore. Yeah. So you building with some guys a friendship that you didn't even know, a kinship for the rest of y'all lives, bro. Yeah. So when you meet Dog, first you hanging with his brother.
Yeah, me and Jerry was best friends.
When did you and Snoop become friends? Because even at that time, it's not even mates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me and Snoop, we became tight during Pop Warner football. He was on the team always up under me, but we still played with the same guys. So we all used to hang around each other. So that's where our relationship, like us becoming tight, started at. And that was Pop Warner football.
Was Snoop into music back then?
He always rapped. If he wasn't rapping, he was bagging on somebody. He always rapped, always.
Were you rapping back then more?
I wasn't not that much. When we got to the Voltron crew,
right?
I was trying.
How old is Voltron crew? How old are you? Are you in your teens? Are you middle or junior high?
We was young teens. I'd say about maybe like 12, 13, right up in that, around I say about 12 to 15, because it was some guys that probably was like, I say 13 to about 15. And because we had some guys we was the youngest. And then we had some guys that was like 16, like
How
15.
many people in Voltron crew?
Shit, it was at least about 15 of us. I can't name everybody. I could try though. Steve, Deion, Dwayne, Snoop, Fabian, Tick, Taniti, Richard, God dang it, Priscilla, Macy, damn it, God dog it. Let me see. I'm forgetting.
Are
they
the
gonna
twins
be
in
pissed at me
Voltron?
too. The twins.
Have you named them already?
Yeah, Deion and Dwayne.
Hey man, but it's crazy because I remember I used to be in a group called Nitro Rock.
Oh,
I know it
yeah.
sounds crazy as fuck now, but you couldn't tell us anything. But you had these like almost like these super groups because everybody kind of loved the same thing. Just like how my son can sit on and he could play, you know, Call of Duty or any of these games, and he has a network of friends in his headphones. That was us.
I'm like that now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a sign of the times, though.
Yeah.
But so, Dog, you say he was always rapping.
He was always rapping, man. Or like, you know, like I said, we called it ranking or bagging, but he was either ranking on somebody or bagging on somebody, talking shit, and had everybody laughing, always. Or if he was rapping, he'd captivate the crowd.
When did you guys become even more of a group?
From high school, he had got, his mother had moved to North Long Beach off of 61st and Linden. And this is what I learned later on. But it happened in high school. I was on my way out to lunch. And while I'm on my way to lunch, I heard somebody say, Warren. So I looked, and it was Snoop. I'm looking like, Snoop, what the fuck you doing up here? He's like, my mom's moved to 61st and Linden, so I had to come to Jordan. I couldn't go to Poly no more. And I was like, is that right? He said, shit, you still, you know, getting down with the music. Because we was always trying to rap, always trying to do all kind of shit.
But y'all see each other in passing?
Yeah, in the Voltron crew and football and stuff. So I was like, yeah, and I told him, I said, shit, I got turntables, I got a mixer, I got a tape deck. We could start doing some mixtapes. So we did a couple mixtapes just right out of my room. I lived on 61st and Orange. He stayed on 61st and Linden. So I used to be in a room, 2 turntables, my mixer, my realistic mixer.
Yep, I remember those,
and we would record just freestyling records over anybody's beat. So we did one, maybe about 5 songs, and I packaged them, I dubbed them, packaged them, and sent them to Kara Lewis. Mailed them to
because we always seen that name, Kara Lewis Agency. And then Rakim would say it at the end of the song.
Man, I tried to mail everybody copies of our music that was on Crush Groove, and we just kept working. And so we went through high school, and during high school we used to. Snoop would have a lot of battles. I wasn't really rapping then. I was just more on the DJ tip for him. But I would spit my little shit here and there. And but Snoop, you know, we used to hear about who was the hardest in the school or around Long Beach or whatever, and we want to battle. We want to go. So we used to have rallies, and other guys would ditch they school to come to our rallies just to battle. Our rallies was the shit. So it, like everybody in the whole
like pep
district,
rallies.
Oh yeah, football rallies. Oh, cracking. To where everybody started ditching school to come to our rallies, and Snoop would battle whoever it was that came in. You know, they came in just to get down with him. But then he had.
What you talking about? Warren G was the shit.
Had to battle all the guys that was at Jordan too, and them niggas was hard. They wasn't no poop butts. You know, you had Jet, you had God damn it, oh my God, they gonna kill me. I know Jet. You had Jet, Handyman. God dog, what's my guy, man? Shit, I mean he was super hard. He was like Rakim. Oh my God, I can't. I hope they don't get pissed off.
They will.
Yeah.
Man, he didn't even name y'all.
But Snoop battled everybody. And there was a dude named Mo Mays. This nigga used to always used to want to battle. He was a funny dude, but he was big old chunky motherfucker with a funny hairdo. But he was hard to us, you know. But he always was trying to battle Snoop. Everybody.
Could you see it early on with Snoop?
Yeah. He was dope. He was that dope. I knew he had something. That's why I kept working with him and trying to make it happen for him. Just
did you
no
feel
matter
like
what it was.
like the attention for music was a little bit different when it came to Snoop? You know, because we got lives that we got to live as well. There's life and a lifestyle and lives and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like, because I know I talked to Snoop about it, you know, when you guys started getting a little bit more making tapes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where Dog got frustrated.
Yeah.
And you explained it, but he explained it where he was saying, like, dude, like, I threw my raps in the trash.
Yeah. I couldn't let him give up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We went through too much to give all this shit up, and what was happening was the street game was kind of starting to take over, you know, because we was making a little bit of money. We started getting a little bread, started getting known a little bit, so people started chiming in. So the street game had started kind of taking away from that, and that's probably why he was so frustrated. And at the same time, wasn't nobody giving us a shot at anything.
Right. And you got to think, too, man, life is like, how do you give up either what you're making money on, put your time into something when you're like, man, wait, you want me to, like, man, that shit ain't paying no bills right now. So I could kind of understand it. It sounds genius now, but when you lock yourself into that time, it's like, I could understand it, bro. But you saw something, even Dog, when I sat with him, he said you just saw something different and you believed in it more.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't
he said,
let him give up, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't let him give up. Cause we just like I said, we was grinding too hard to give up, and then I used to have a grudge with everybody else that he used to battle. I used to have a grudge, like I'm not a grudge, but I used to have that feeling to where like I'm not getting ready to let this dude stop to give all them the satisfaction of him not making it, because I know he doper than all you motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. So that's what made that umph in me that kept staying on top of him and motivating him to keep going. And even though we in the hustle game, you going to the county jail, I go to the county jail, back and forth during all those times, I couldn't give up. I just had to keep pushing.
Did you know what you was pushing for, though?
I didn't even know, but I knew we was gonna get somewhere. No. Yeah, you know, and so we even started. We didn't give up. You know, I dug in the trash, pulled his rhymes out, and put them back in the house. You know, and cause it's like, nigga, all the stuff you used to rap to me, you gonna throw this away?
And he physically threw it in the trash.
Threw it in the trash.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck
and you
this shit.
Jumped in the dumpster.
Went in that motherfucker and grabbed it out of there. It wasn't a dumpster. It was one of them trash cans like that.
So you digging it?
Dug in there and pulled that shit out of there. I just couldn't see him give up. You know, I was like, nah, I can't give up.
Did he see you go into the trash, or did he just come back to the spot?
Nah, he didn't see me go in the trash. I just took him out of there because he went upstairs. I took him out and brought him. Well, I brought him right back up to him. Brought him right back.
What did he say when you brought his shit from out the trash?
Me ain't say shit. You know, Snoop. Yeah, you pissed off sometimes. Like, nigga, I just brought this shit back. You ain't getting ready to throw this shit in the trash. All this dope shit that you done rap to me, my name is on some of it too. Shit, cut it out.
Hey, man, when do you go from us being able, not us, but you're making tapes with Dog, how does Nate Dogg get in? Because I know at one point you were saying that you and Snoop were cool.
Yeah.
And you was kind of overprotected with Snoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was. Well, we knew Nate. Snoop knew Nate more than I did because they was in the church circuit with the playing basketball and the churches battling and stuff like that, as well as King Park. I used to see Nate and them at Kings Park as well, but we wasn't like playing together like me and Snoop and us was. Well, Snoop had knew Nate and them, so Nate was going to Poly. Snoop had went back to Poly from Jordan, you know, for his senior year, you know, but he had the most fun of his life at Jordan. So he went back to Poly, and he bumped heads with Nate. I think Nate was Nate, I forgot, I don't know. No, because Snoop was a senior, so Nate was already out of school. He was in the services. Mm-hmm. So when he got out the services, he heard about us, you know, with what we was doing around the neighborhood, because we was all over, like going to little clubs and shit.
And hood famous.
Yeah, hood famous. Yeah. You know, we was making some noise. So he came up to the spot where we was serving at, and you know, jumped out and was just like, you know, hanging with us for a few days, and Snoop was like, "You still get down, Nate?" He was like, "Warren, this nigga can sing." And I'm like, "Shit, hey, it's all good." So we would be doing the freestyling and you know, rapping and, you know, doing all kind of stuff, freestyling for everybody on the spot, and everybody, we'd all be in one house, drinking, smoking, just freestyling. Snoop would be busting over instrumentals and just having a good time. And Nate would start singing. So we was like, shit. We was like, man, he gotta be part of what we doing. So we just started moving around, and Nate would move with us, and everywhere we went, when we would do like a little gig, by the way, Roger Clayton opened up some big doors
Roger
for us.
Clayton, Uncle Jim's Army.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
He had
same with me, bro.
Yes, indeed. He gave us a shot, and that's how our name started spreading around.
Like at Uncle Jim's Army?
Not through Uncle Jam. It wasn't Uncle Jam's Army. He just had the Toe Jam in Long Beach, but then he had other clubs all over LA. So he was giving us a shot coming in there on the I think they was Wednesdays, to come in there. Then the shit used to be packed. Come in there and just get down. I get on the turntables, I set it off. You drink whiskey, I drink wine. Come on, everybody, it's gangsta time. Boom, 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 boom. Snoop Dogg, come up to the mic and let them know what time. Then Snoop would start busting, tearing it up, and so he gave us that shot. So like I said, it was building for us all around.
Was that your first time performing in front of an audience, like getting those times together? Yeah, that was our that was the preps.
And
at that time, is it you, Warren, and Snoop?
It was me. Yeah, it was me, Snoop. And Nate.
My bad.
Yeah, me, Snoop, and Nate.
Are y'all 213 at that time, or?
Well, no, we at that time we was shit, I forgot. We had so many different names. We even had a name called, we was even Three the Hard Way, where it was me, Snoop, and my homeboy Big E from DC. Well, he live in DC now.
Three the Hard Way, like the movie.
Yeah. My homeboy Big E, he was a part of our shit
so when we hear like 213 or we hear certain things, it was a lot before y'all got to that.
It was a lot before that. Yeah. And but what we did is we used to always on the spot, because when it was all said and done, we was right back on the spot, serving, doing what we got to do. And we used to listen to all different types of people, well, hip-hop guys who was, in the, underground. So we heard Quick, we heard 415, we heard just a bunch of different, M-Walk had a mixtape.
So you talking about like just the underground mixtape?
Yeah.
Like the circuits, like how we would go grab them.
Yeah.
And then nobody was like radio a lot, but it was like, man, we went out and got that shit.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that y'all want to be a part of that. You know how you listen to, like, even with Dre and the Rhodium Swap Meet, Steve, like, hell yeah.
Everything that was going on. So this is what happened. From listening to all of those groups, and we fell in love with 415, which was Richie Rich and D-Lo. We fell in love with them, and so we was like, damn, they calling themselves 415. That's representing the Bay. So we was like, let's call ourselves 213 because we representing Southern California, and that was L.A., Long Beach, Compton, Watts, you know, everywhere, Carson, you know.
And this is before they took the area codes and really split them up,
Yeah, this was before 562.
Yeah, man.
If I'm not mistaken, 310 might have been around. So now 310 came after 213.
Oh yeah, definitely after 213.
Yeah, it was 213 was everybody's area code, and so that's what we wanted to represent. So we started doing songs that cater to that. So we did a record called Long Beach is a Motherfucker, and that was one of our first demos as well that we really liked a lot. My homeboy Money B, not Money B from Digital Underground, but my white buddy Money B let us come in his house, and he recorded us doing our first real demo as 213.
Now, are you making original music then, or are y'all still going over instrumentals?
Break records.
Yeah.
Yeah, he popped on the doom boom da doom boom boom. Boom, do 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 do, boom, 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 and then I started off. Well, I'm the WARRENG, and Snoop saying I'm the S and double O into the PDOG, and then I'm like finna kick something about our city, and what he say? The L, the O, the N, the G, the B, the E, the A, the C, the H, no pity. And we both say no pity will be given. The situations are real because it's the life we live in. So without further hesitation, yo, G-Dub, why don't you kick the demonstration? And then I start off the first verse sitting back in my room smoking a 20 sack. Me and my homie Snoop Rock just kicking back, talking shit. And so right after I finished busting.
You said Snoop Rock in that?
Yeah, Snoop, me and my homie Snoop Rock just kicking back, thinking about these funny ass niggas, sipping and tripping on the satin that they sipping. So I told the homie Snoop Rock, why don't you preach about it, tell the shit like it should be told? Why don't you mold the motherfuckers and scold the motherfuckers and teach each and all to learn how to ball like a real nigga? So I figure, since you got the game, why don't you school these niggas? And Snoop come in, old bust ass niggas from the city. I said, he is a fool.
You know what's crazy about that? Is that sound, like what it is and what it was. And you know what I'm saying? And that was like y'all early introductions.
Yeah.
So y'all always had something, bro, that was different. That y'all hadn't even given to the world yet. You gave to probably the streets of Long Beach.
Yeah.
Carson, Gardena, maybe surrounding areas, you know what I'm saying? But not knowing that the world was going to gravitate and emulate this thing from the West Coast, bro.
Yeah, it was a trip.
Is that the tape you give to Dre?
That's the same exact tape that I took. Actually, I took it to L.A. Dre. Rest in peace. Took it to L.A. Dre. It was his bachelor party that Dre was giving for him, so I took it.
Did Dre know that you had a passion for music, and that you was cooking with Snoop Dogg and cooking with Warren G?
Well, I used to tell him. I used to tell. Well, I used to just tell him at different functions or around the holidays. I would say my homeboy Snoop can rap. You need to listen to him. And it was just
like going
okay.
on 1 year out the other.
Yeah.
Like you never really had his attention.
Never.
Yeah. But you got to think, man.
Yeah.
Everybody was probably coming at Dre.
Yeah.
And then with the family too, like, man, I got a homeboy that can rap. I got, you know.
Yeah.
So he hear it.
Because I went through it. I know exactly what he went through.
Yeah, man. Now you know.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many times do you think you told Dre, I got a homie named Snoop that can rap?
I probably told him a couple times, probably a few times, and you know he wasn't trying to hear it really. And Snoop would be talking shit, Like, that nigga don't want to fuck with me, and he'd be talking shit. But, you know, like I said, I never gave up, you know. And L.A. Dre, it was his bachelor party. I chimed in with Dre. I hadn't talked to him in a while because I used to go hang out with him up at Audio Achievements during NWA, and, you know, helping. You know, he let me do a skit on the Niggas for Life, and so I was hanging with the guys. So I called him like, man, I ain't seen you in a while. He was like, come up, I'm doing a bachelor party for L.A. Dre. So I came up there and went in, and L.A. Dre was in there playing music, and they had the nice females and shit. And they was playing the shit from like a little, like, I guess it was a radio, I guess you could say. But it was like it was like a little mini system. And I said, man, can you play this? And he was like, you know, because they was just playing the same music. So I was like, can you play this? And he was like, yeah, all right, I'll play it. So he popped it in and started playing that shit. And he was like, damn, this shit is dope. And he was like, have you let Dre hear this? He was like, who is this first? And I was like, that's me and my homeboy Snoop and one of my buddies, Nate. And he was like, have you played this shit for Dre? And I was like, nah, I haven't played it for him. So he went and got him and brought him over and let him hear it. And then he heard it. He was like, damn, that shit is dope. So he was like, damn. He was like, who was that? I said, it's me, Snoop, and Nate. I've been trying to tell you that, you know, we do music. And so he was like, shit. He was like, y'all come to the studio on Monday. And I was like, are you serious? He was like, yeah, come to the studio on Monday. So Snoop, you know, like I said, I was protective and didn't want him working with a lot of other guys besides our close family. So I was kind of pissed off at him because he was dipping and diving, fucking with other people, and it was kind of like separating our shit, you know, because they would take him away from us and what we was doing. And he was recording records. He made some good records too with some of the other guys. So we was kind of going at it back and forth, and called him and was like, look, Dre wants us to come to the studio on Monday. Your nigga hung up on me, just on some, you know, to piss me off, because he knew how to piss me off. He hung the fucking phone up, so I was like, this motherfucker. So I called him back and I said, Snoop, let me call Dre. Called Dre on the three-way, clicked it over, and I said, Andre, would you let Snoop know that you want us to come to the studio on Monday? And he was like, yeah, I want you guys to come to the studio on Monday. He was like, who was this? He's like, this Dr. Dre. And he was like, this Dre? And he was like, got quiet. He was like, yeah, this Dre, I want y'all to come to the studio on Monday. Then he was just like, oh, okay, man, cool. All right. So we hung the phone up and was happy as, when I say happy, we got drunk. We was partying with our homegirls, the hood rats. Now, I ain't gonna call them hood rats, our homegirls. They was called the Big Posse. We partied with the Big Posse, our homeboys romping, you know, a lot of our friends and stuff. Like, nigga, we headed to the studio with Dre on Monday. And
you knew what it was, but didn't know what it was. But you knew that was something special.
It was special because we didn't. That was the biggest thing that happened to us. You know, everything else was just letdowns. Mm-hmm. You know, even I think Calvin from the VIP even took a demo to Interscope of Snoop, and they shot him down. Yeah, and that was huge for us.
So
like huge.
Did y'all make it to the studio?
Yeah, we made it to the studio. My homeboy, we jumped in his raggedy car, dipped to the studio, stopping at every light. Me, Snoop, and Rump.
And why y'all stopping at every light?
You know,
the
that's
car ain't
how
working right. Yeah, you gotta put it in neutral and shit.
We like the boom. And we rode from Long Beach to L.A. all the way up to Hollywood to
On the streets.
On the streets.
Can't do
all
the freeway.
We couldn't get up. We wasn't gonna take that chance.
Yeah.
So we went, all the way up, stopping at lights the whole night through everybody's hood, the most notorious neighborhoods, all the way up to Hollywood, up to Solar Records. Walked in there, and it was Dre and DOC, and we went straight to the vocal booth, and Dre had a beat that was so motherfucking dope. It was the Big Payback mixed with Hold On, boom, 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 boom. The bit, it was dope. I can't even. I'm trying to get it all the way like I was hearing the sample, but I can't get it off top. But he did a song called Gangsta's Life. That was really, it was a dope record. Just talking about his life.
And who's that?
Snoop.
So are you on the record with Snoop?
No, this was just Snoop.
You just heard Snoop's voice and heard something and said, bring that guy.
Yeah. It was Snoop by himself. And
was there a pressure to that though? Like going in front of Dre, knowing what Dre already created, or do you understand the one shot?
He was nervous. We all, even though I've known him all my life, it was just nerve. We was nervous because now, you guys are you here, you in front of one of the masters, and he's really working with your best friend, and it's like, shit, like it was like, damn.
Did you ever feel like Snoop was your artist? Like when you see him in there by
pretty
himself?
much.
Right.
That as a producer and DJ, he was mine. That's my artist. Like that's my guy. And but I wasn't tripping. I didn't care because my mentality was, if Snoop make it, I know he gonna look out for me regardless. And if Dre is my brother, I know he gonna look out. So I'm like, shit, I'm gonna just sit here and figure out my role.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I figured my role out.
What was your role?
My role was production, getting the records, going to shop for records, and putting samples together. That was my role. Still, I was Snoop and Dre DJ as well. We did shows. We did a show in the Hangar in Santa Monica one time. That was me back there DJing, mixing that shit up. Every chronic gin and tonic. It was some shit I found. I found it on the record. Now every chronic gin and tonic. Every chronic gin and tonic. Somebody got that on film too. It was at the Santa Monica Hangars. Yeah.
So after y'all do that studio session, what happens after that? Because our introduction to Dre and Snoop, of course, if I'm not mistaken, is Deep Cover.
Yeah.
How long was Dre? You going in and you finding beats and samples and you're also in a position where it's teamwork.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. Oh, Dre, what about this?
Yes, indeed.
So you putting a lot of work into this. When does that introduction to Snoop and Dre, like when we hear Deep Cover, did you know that that was coming? Were you in the studios with Deep Cover?
Definitely. I was there the whole step of the way. Because what we did, the backbone of it was done in Calabasas at the house we lived in.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But what the cool thing about it is after Snoop did the song, I'll say maybe about, we kept coming back and forth, so Dre was like, shit, why don't y'all just come stay with me? And then, move up here so y'all ain't in the street and we can work. He said, I got a studio at home. And shit, we was like, hell yeah, let's go. And that's when everything started, actually, you know what, let me see. It did start, we started working, doing like, it wasn't a specific
project.
Project. We were just doing music just to do it. you know, seeing what comes out. And Sugar came into play, so we met Suge, and then with Suge, Dre,
Because
and
Dre is
DLC.
death row at this time, right?
Well, it wasn't
building?
Death Row.
Right,
It was called Future Shock. Yeah, it was called Future Shock, and Dick Griffey was the office upstairs. He was like
Magnificent mild music.
the I guess like the record company, like lawyer, and so we met Suge. He came down. We met him. He was cool. Him, DLC, and Dre, and we just started doing music, man. Just all the little ideas. We wasn't even working in the main studio at first, but he did that demo in the big studio, and you know, we did a couple little things, and then we went down to the valley. That's where we like started.
Did you like Deep Cover when you first heard it? Could you
I
hear
love
it?
Deep Cover. That was just a doom boom 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 doom boom boom boom, and then when he dropped them drums under that motherfucker, I was like, oh my god.
Did you have anything to do with Deep Cover
Nothing.
as a sound?
I had nothing to do with that. That was Dre did it, all of that right there in Calabasas. Then he, as it got bigger, well, you know, with that to add more things to it, then he went to the big studio.
Man, I remember talking with Dog, and he was saying he thought that he was just gonna write some of Deep Cover.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dre was like, "No, you're gonna do it with me."
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you and Snoop's conversations then? Did you know, like, was it different conversations on We On?
Just happy.
Yeah.
Just happy.
And when Dre say move to Calabasas, are we talking about like a house in Calabasas with like no furniture or anything?
Yeah.
You know,
No, we moved to. He didn't have no furniture.
Yeah,
It wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot. But we didn't care. Shit, we
Yeah.
slept on the floor. You know, that was comfortable enough. We was used to that.
Yeah, at the house, like shit.
Yeah, we was used to that being on the spot. We used to sleep on the floor, but to be on some comfortable floor,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a little fluffy.
And you can have your own floor, and I can have my own floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you, it's really crazy because you're paying once again tuition to the school of experience,
Yeah.
not knowing
Yeah.
what this thing is going to create. Even when I say, "Oh yeah, Death Row," you're like, it wasn't even Death Row then.
Yeah, it was Future Shock.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And watching these pieces get together. When Deep Cover hit, that motherfucker hit hard.
Hard.
And
I
this
was
is like, these are the kids from Compton, the kids from Long Beach, and now the world. That's our introduction to Dog. Dog is shy at the time. He's not looking in the camera, but he got this.
Yeah.
He got this this thing that's going on. Yeah. And you can see the innocence and the naivete and, you know, him being new to it.
Yeah.
Where does that record
He still
take you
do
to?
that
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, but now Dog looking in the camera, you know.
Yeah.
But where does that take you to?
I mean, shit. It was just. Well, it took him and Dre. They took off.
Yeah.
And it just. For myself, it just made. I just felt so good because I'm like, we made it. Like I made it because they made it.
And you
know what
DJing
I mean?
still?
I was DJing.
With them?
Yeah.
So the Chronic is like a family affair. It's like everybody's living together, everybody's working together.
Yeah.
Explain what that time is.
Well, me, Snoop, and Dre and DLC, we all was pretty much like the guys living up here. And what we would do is we would go. Let me take that back. It all started, just like I said, in the house in Calabasas. Everything that we was doing started in Calabasas. So we did G-Thing. That record was so dope. You know, that's what was like, Dre was like, oh, we need to do a motherfucking album.
Oh, so G-Thing sparked a project.
Yeah, G-Thing.
Called The Chronic.
Deep Cover blew the shit out the water, blew them up, and then G-Thing, when we did that, that was a record that was like, oh, this motherfucker right here, this is gonna
this gonna take over everything. Like,
So when G Thing that built the Chronic, is it the same G Thing that we started to hear?
that's the same G Thing. It's been the same from the start.
So y'all hear G Thing, the riots go down, it changes the feeling of what this project is going to be.
Yeah, yeah. So that's Ain't No Fun came from the riots. Little Ghetto Boy came from the riots. All of this stuff came from that whole time frame.
So how is Daz there? How's Corrupt there?
Yeah. So this is how the team started getting built. We had Snoop, DLC was there, Jewel was there, and Rage. I think Rage was there, but Rage had started. Rage wasn't there in the beginning, but Dre had always loved Rage, and Dre, Suge, and them, they had some type of connection with Rage to where they had brought her in. But it used to be me, Snoop, Dre, DLC in the beginning. So me and Snoop at that time, even though they had like Deep Cover, Crackin', that shit was huge, me and Snoop would still go to like the Roxy to see the talent shows and all that stuff. So we was at the Roxy one time, and Snoop was there. It was a bunch of guys we knew there that was dope, busing. So it was this girl, was like, my homeboy is the tightest out here right now, in California, no matter what. And everybody was like, nah, he the tightest out here in California right now. And that was Diamond. And she said, my homeboy Corrupt, she kept saying it, like, my homeboy Corrupt will serve anybody out here. So we was like, what's up? She was like, what's up? So we outside the Roxy, took it right outside, formed a little circle. Snoop got on one knee, Corrupt got on one knee, and they started going at it. That nigga Corrupt was hard.
Yeah, and Snoop got Deep Cover already.
Yeah.
But he coming down and still sharpening up his skill.
Yeah.
And you said Corrupt was hard.
That nigga was hard. but Snoop was hard too.
Yeah.
Shit, they was busting.
So you're there that night? You're seeing this?
I'm right in the middle. Cause my thing was, anytime Snoop battle, I'll point at something just to show him how dope Snoop is. I'll be like, Snoop. And I point at something, and he busting. He'd just do. He start he'll break it down. And this nigga Corrupt took the shit that I was doing with Snoop, and he said, you got a pinky ring on your finger, and that is true. But if you look at mine, I got one too, because he had a pinky ring finger on too. A pinky, did I say that right?
Yeah, a pinky ring.
A pinky ring on his finger. And he had the pinky ring on his finger, and he said that is true. But if he said, you got a pinky ring on your finger, and that is true. But if you look at mine, I got one too. And we was like, oh shit. And Snoop started busting back. Just start busting. They going back and forth, and we couldn't get no winner. It was just ooh, 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 to where they had to break it up. They broke it up, and when they broke it up, I was like, hey, give me your number. So I got his number.
Jesus Christ.
Got Corrupt's number. Wrote that motherfucker down. Wrote it down, and I called him probably about a week or two later, and I said, man, come up to the Calabasas. We got a studio up there. I want to do a demo on you. So he came up there, and I put some samples together. And the crazy thing about it is that the cassette deck, the cassette deck was routed into the board, and the MPC was routed into the board as well, to where I could get levels into the cassette deck. So I would record That was my tape machine. The cassette.
This some producer out here.
It is. Look, that was my machine, the cassette deck. I'd hit record. You only got one take to knock it down. And they used to, Snoop and Corrupt, when I would record them like that, they practice their shit all the way down in one take, because you on a cassette deck.
Yeah.
Boop, hit that motherfucker and go. And
Bro,
so
like
I recorded.
A&R, manager, producer,
Security,
DJ.
every goddamn thing.
It's crazy, because what if you didn't get Corrupt's number? You know, and down the road, y'all probably
they probably would have bumped heads, but they'd have been going at it.
Yeah.
So I did the songs for him. Let Dre and Suge hear it. They was like, this nigga is dope. We need to sign him. They said that the first day, we got to sign him. And from that point, Broomfield, they was Corrupt managers then. Broomfield and them was just keeping in, start negotiating with Suge and Dre and them, and boom, Death Row signed him. Mm-hmm.
And that's another.
And that was one of the pieces that came in. So now you got Snoop and Corrupt, and then Snoop started bringing Daz around. So, cause Snoop lived with Daz and his cousin DeAndre down on the east side for a little bit when we was kind of on the street a little bit, and he would go back down there from Dre's every now and then just to go hang down there with DeAndre now. And so Daz started coming around, and Daz was always rapping. He was rapping too, and those two pieces that came in, and then we in there working, just doing shit, just writing. Jewel was in there, Rage, it came on. Then Nate started coming. We brought Nate in, and then Nate actually started coming back with us to the house, up moving up. He kind of moved in with us in Calabasas. And so the team was pretty much built. So what we would do is us up here would go and Corrupt and Daz, we'd all meet at the Solar.
You late as hell, bro. We've been this motherfucker 2 hours. If we're gonna shut it down in probably another 30 minutes.
Early in the morning, and we'd just sit in that Solar with Dre just all motherfucking day, just working, just coming up with ideas and just doing shit.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then RBX came in. Snoop was like, I got a cousin that's hard in the motherfucker. We need to bring him in.
When my man said you can't cross out an X, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
His voice, delivery.
Yeah.
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 So when does Ain't No Fun get recorded as a group record?
Ain't No Fun.
That's still an anthem to this day.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. Ain't No Fun came, that was after, we had the Chronic cracking, that, like I said, that whole era, the riots, that all inspired the Chronic on into Doggy Style. So, we still had that same energy and motion going into Snoop's record. And I just happened to walk in the studio one day. That's when I had Endo Smoke out.
Yeah.
So I had a little buzz.
Man. I can't, dude.
Paul now.
And we can't pass that up, bro.
Nah.
So when we think about Paul Stewart, DJP, John Singleton, a label that's going down. Yeah. I remember the first time I heard Endo Smoke was Paul Stewart playing that for me.
Yeah.
And that's that's when I was hooking up the phones and we met back then.
Yes.
So how does Endo Smoke start for you? With Mr. Graham.
Well, around that time I was kind of like, I wasn't with Death Row or nothing like that. I was out on my own, doing my own thing, wasn't working over here like it was supposed to. So I just eased on and just started doing my own thing. And I was trying to build another team that I could work with and feel good with, because I wasn't with none of my guys that I love. So I got to go over here and try to create some more friends, but I still would come around. So I started messing with Mr. Zagu and Mr. Graham. They was a group. And Nate we just started, you know, I just used to record records with them, trying to build a family.
Yeah,
So
because you knew how to build anyway.
yeah,
And you know, I mean, without all the credit and not taking anything away from anyone, but you built a family or helped build a family with what was going down.
Yeah.
I do want to reverse a little bit and back up to what that felt like, because at one point you're helping put together this thing called Death Row. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of talent there. You got your hands in on one of the biggest ones that you brought with Snoop.
yeah.
Why weren't you signed to Death Row?
I have no idea. I guess Suge wasn't fucking with me.
Because
I
was
think
everybody else
he
signed?
was pissed off at me because I told Snoop them, I told Rage, I told everybody that got a contract, even myself. You know, we had contracts, and I was like, we need to get a lawyer to look at these contracts. We can't just sign this shit. We got to get it looked at. You don't know what you signing for. So.
But you had a contract.
I had a contract.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like you weren't signed. It's just that once you tried to alert,
yeah,
you were like, man.
you know, about you know, the business, you know, and I pretty much got that from Tribe Called Quest.
Industry
3008.
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Record company
4080.
people are shady, so kids watch your back.
I don't doubt it. Look at how they act. Yeah. Hip hop teaching, edutainment, huh? Edutainment, bro.
Taught
so
me.
you say that, and your
Yeah.
contract is there's no signature because there's no contract.
No lawyer.
Yeah.
No lawyer, no contract. And I told Snoop and I told everybody. And one of the persons that a
As
good
you
friend.
refer to it, one of your constituents.
Yeah, one of my constituents.
Yeah, man.
When told Suge that I told him not to sign the contract, so he got pissed off, tripping. You know, he grabbed me up, had me on the wall. You know, it wasn't like choking me or anything like that. He just had me because he's big and strong, so I couldn't hardly get away. But I still was talking shit. and I think that might be what set it off as far as me not being signed there, and I just wasn't taking no bullshit.
Yeah, I remember you said when he had you kind of hemmed up, you was like, man, you said you was trying to make it to that elevator, go get your shit up.
Oh my God, I was trying to get away, cause I'm like shit, you know. I was trying to get away.
But this is like. This is like, and you gotta paint the picture. This is a nation of homies that's there too. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you said, you got to that elevator. It was like, you know.
I can't get down because that was only one way down, and the elevator almost got to me, and he came storming out, caught my ass before I could get on the elevator, and shit, I was just like, man, you better get your hands off me. I told him just like that, you better get your hands off me. I'm calling all my homeboys. And my other little homeboy, Cisco, was with me. Luckily, he didn't have nothing on him because he's a gunner.
That one.
He's a gunner. He would have blasted up in there, and I didn't want that to happen. You know, I didn't want that to happen because I known this dude. You know what I'm saying? I known him like from the NWA days, so I was pretty much a pup, known him from a pup all the way up. But
so when you leave Death Row that day, do you know that your situation's changed, or are you still coming around?
I was still coming around.
Yeah.
I was still coming around. When I noticed it change is when the tour started, the Chronic tour. I just knew I was getting ready to go on that motherfucker, and got to the airport. I didn't have no plane ticket or anything with my name on it to go. It was me and Breeze will tell you. Remember Breeze? It was me, Breeze, and Samara. Cause I had to ask.
Breeze, LA Posse Breeze?
LA Posse Breeze. It was me,
yeah.
Breeze, and Samara, and I asked Samara because she gave me a ride. They gave me a ride
To the airport?
home.
So you get to the airport, Warren, and everybody else is there? Do you see everybody?
I didn't see everybody. I came, you know, Snoop and all, everybody, they was going, and I ain't got no ticket. I didn't have a ticket. Everybody else had a ticket.
But you saw them at the airport?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shit.
They had tickets, and it's like, damn, where's my shit at? He ain't got no ticket. So I was like, damn.
That's how you find out? So immediately you have to go home?
I went straight to Long Beach. Yeah. I take that back. I got all my stuff. And at that time, we wasn't living with Dre. I was with Snoop pretty much in Hollywood around that time. We stayed in an apartment together with Sharitha, and then we stayed, and Snoop had his own apartment, so I would be over there in Snoop's apartment with him. I was just, everywhere he moved, I moved. I just got my stuff. I got my drum machine, my records, and all my stuff, and just went to Long Beach and just started trying to do new music. So that's when I started moving around and got with Mr. Graham and met him. I can't even remember how I met Mr. Graham.
Was that hurtful though, bro? Like, cause you know, I've been, even before radio, I've been on tours.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole lead up, were y'all talking about it and how much fun it was gonna be and
yeah, all that shit.
And you had no idea till you got to the airport?
I didn't have no idea that I was going until I got to the airport.
What did you feel about the ones that went?
I was like, shit, they getting ready to go have a goddamn ball, and I'm asked.
Did anybody say, what about Warren?
Not if they did, I didn't know it.
Right.
You know
and you didn't
what
put him in
I'm
that
sure
position
Snoop.
either.
I'm sure Snoop
yeah.
probably said something.
What's your conversations like when everybody's on the road? Are you still checking in, or did you just detach?
I kind of detached and just started doing my own thing. But when they came back and they was back around, then I would pop up. You know, I pop up at the studios, into the sessions, and just hang out. You know, just then when it's over with, I'd leave and go. You know, because they were still my guys. You know,
but
it was a fucked up. But it was a very, very low point in my life for real, because I didn't have nothing. I mean, I didn't have shit. But you know, what did save me is DOC, Rodney G, and MC Breed. They looked out for me by letting me produce. You got to get yours, I got to get mine. That helped me a lot, and that also gave me the money to be able to do Endo Smoke, to get records to do Endo Smoke. It wasn't a lot of money. It was like $8,000, but back then $8,000 was pretty cool. You know, I was able to buy me a little bucket, and I could move around now. Yeah,
but you came back because you had put so much in. You came back to almost. Would you say nothing? I
didn't have shit until I did that. I didn't have shit.
Where were you staying at?
My sister. I was living. She lived on Cedar. On Cedar in Long Beach. And in her apartment, I stayed and slept on the floor of her apartment. I had my crates, my MPC 60. I had my drum machine, my records, and my MPC 60. And that's all I had. And every morning I'd crack open my MPC 60, grab my records, and just start listening to shit, trying to find new sounds or new piece in a sample or something, just doing beats in my headphones with the disc. On the floor at my sister's house, yeah. And,
man, did you think not that it was over, but you said it was at a low. Did you see something bigger coming, or it was like, man, this shit is as fucking big as it gets?
I knew that I could find somewhere to start being able to do what I love.
Were you mad or bitter? Or were you more? Is it anger?
I wasn't even bitter. I wasn't even mad or bitter. I was just like hurt because I love these niggas. These is my guys. Not on some weird shit, but just like y'all my brothers. Like this is like, that's like.
Had you ever experienced a tour before that?
No, never.
Oh, so this was
Actually, I take that back. That's probably why I was extra crushed, because I had a chance to go to some of. I used to taste some of the NWA days.
Oh, so you was like, oh, this is us, and
Wow.
all the homies.
Yeah, they was
Did
having.
the twins go?
No, the twins didn't go.
Daz and Corrupt go?
Daz and Corrupt went. Snoop, Daz, Corrupt. I'm not sure if RBX went. I think Rage went. Jewel went. Our whole crew. I don't think Nate went. I'm not sure. I don't know. Nate might have went. Yeah, Nate did go. Nate, wait, did Nate go? No, I don't think Nate. I don't know if Nate went or not.
But you know you got to rebuild.
Yeah.
And almost like you're forced.
No, Nate didn't go because I was working with him.
Right. Oh yeah,
so
because
yeah,
now y'all at the crib building.
Yeah.
Did you ever know why Nate didn't go?
He wasn't like signed or anything.
Okay.
Nate was just around putting in work. So he wasn't official until I did Endo Smoking, and that's when you know, shit.
So when you do Endo Smoke, Endo Smoke is yours. You got Mr. Grimm. That shit take flight. Do you feel like I'm back in now? Not how I want to be, not with the fellas, but I'm back.
Yeah, I was back. Yeah. Made me some money.
Yeah, man.
And everything felt good. You know, it wasn't. It was money, but I think I got maybe like $25,000 or something like that.
Hey man, so when you hear people that's familiar with Endo Smoke, right? Endo Smoke was billed as a Mr. Grimm record.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much. But you're on this record.
Well, it was my record.
Yeah. You know,
but I put him on the record. You know, I put him on the record. Just trying to help him. At the same time, I knew that if one of us, they gonna like
the same thing.
You
like
know,
if one you take me, if I go, I take you.
Yes.
So you've seen this formula before.
Yeah.
So what happens with Endo Smoke? Do they hear
it blew up. Yeah. Everybody was loving my parts on there, and loving Graham too. It was the record. It went gold.
I remember.
You know, it went gold. So it was like, wow, and the record company started tapping in, and Paul and them would call me because I was a producer, and I, you know, pretty much was like the lead on everything, and Mr. Green was pretty much my artist, and so when I took the meeting with Def Jam, and for them to say, you know, we want the guy that's got the little melody to him that's singing and shit, and I was like, you know, I went crazy, like that's me. That shit right there, the feeling I got was just like incredible. And then Lior, Tracy Waples, and Chris Lighty flew down, and they took me to a big time steakhouse. They had a car come pick me up. All this shit, I was like, oh,
So when they hear Endo Smoke, when they start talking about the parts that they love, you like,
that's me. Yeah. I'm telling you, because they was like, we want the guy that got the melody and the da-da-da. I said, so y'all don't want the guy that started off. No, we want the other guy. I said, that's me. I hollered right to Paul and tell you, I said, that's me. Yeah, that's me. I'm right here.
And so when you get that, now it's like, you know, we thinking of West Coast, we thinking of Death Row, we thinking, you know, now it's like Def Jam.
Yeah. I'm
and
like,
Def Jam is known
on.
as, you know, East Coast label. But even when you were talking earlier about certain things that you would listen to, Def Jam was an imprint.
Yeah.
And a blueprint for hip hop.
Yes, indeed.
So now you go to Def Jam. And who else was from the West Coast on Def Jam?
Around that time, I think Domino was Domino may have been the first with Ghetto Jam.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Through Greedy Greg, I think it was Greedy Greg then, but somehow Harry O was connected to the Ghetto Jam with Greedy Greg and them with that. So Domino was at Def Jam. first. If I'm not mistaken, he was there first, and then I came right after Ghetto Jam.
It's crazy, man, because not you saying it, but people would say that Warren G saved Def Jam.
Yeah.
Because Def Jam, you know, they had a great roster, and then there was things that came after you that put Def Jam like really on, you know, the DMXs of the world, so on and so forth. So but I'm talking about at a time when you went there, a lot of focus went back to Def Jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did the West Coast, or how did anyone feel about you signing with, and not the West Coast, but how did any of your peers feel with you signing with, damn, it's not Death Row, it's Def Jam?
They was like, nigga.
Do it.
Yeah, they was like, that's huge.
Did you feel like you had something to prove? If not to them, to you, or to anyone?
Well, I had to show everybody that I wasn't just a waste of talent. You know, I had to show them that I'm dope too. You know, I'm dope just like Dre. I'm dope just like Snoop. I make good music too. But like I said, I wasn't bitter or trying to compete or any of that stuff.
You just had to do you.
Yeah, I just had to do me. And by me getting signed to Def Jam, that shit, I had to think about it. It was like Crush Groove, this, that, and this. I was like,
yeah, you said that.
And
did you feel lonely over there?
Nah,
Gotcha.
nah. I had some of the most fun times of my life. You know, being on Def Jam, and they embraced me. This how they did it. When I got there, I was kind of scared to go by myself. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I ain't never been to New York. So I asked the twins to go with me. You know, I bought them plane tickets, got fresh outfits, everything. Let's go. So we got on the plane and got there. I think it was that night. Yeah, we got there that night because I remember it was off of 47th and 7th at the Doubletree Suites. And we woke up to the smell of bomb-ass breakfast coming through them vents out there. And I got a call. The front desk was like, you have a call. So I said, put it through. And then when the call came through, he said, this is LL. So I'm like, LL? Like, LL who? He was like, this is LL Cool J. And I'm like, this ain't LL Cool J. I didn't hang up on it.
Dr. Dre.
He said, yo, he started talking, yo, this is LL. And da-da-da. He was like, you know, he was like, this Warren G. And I said, yeah. He said, man, he said, look, I came over to come, you know, show you around out here in New York and da-da-da-da-da. I said, and man, give me about 5-10 minutes. I said, Dwayne, Dion didn't wake up, so Dwayne came with me. I said, man, LL Cool J downstairs, come with me, come on. Threw our clothes on, jumped down, walked out, and it was him.
And that's the architect.
The architect.
Of Def Jam.
Yeah, the head honcho. And jumped in the car with him, and he took us to Queens. He took us shopping. He took us to his house, showed us the basement. This nigga had so many clothes. I ain't never seen that many clothes in my life. Like from the top of the stairs, just all the way down to the basement. It went all the way down around this side. It was clothes. And he showed us that. He said, this is where I used to write my lyrics at, right down here in the basement here at my grandmother's house.
Oh, shit.
And
it's like a museum.
Yeah. He showed us the green sidekick from Tina Got a Big Old Butt. It was sitting right there. It was dusty, but it was right there.
Bro, so you knowing now, like, and this is all about you now, though.
Yeah, and
you know
I was a mega fan. Like, just to be in front of this dude was like.
Did you record in New York, or were you recording in LA?
Recorded home at my house. My apartment right on Long Beach Boulevard in San Antonio.
What came out of there?
Regulate. Like all of my records came out of there. All of them came out of there. They got mixed elsewhere, but they all
Take me through Regulate,
bro. It started out as like on the weekends.
I thought it was a Clear Dark Night. No.
It started out just me. Just doing what I do, searching for records. moving around the city, so it was kind of late in the evening. So I was on my way home, so I went by Roscoe's to get a bite. Seen this dude out there selling incense and selling records and shit for $1. So I told him, man, I want to buy your whole crate of records. So I gave him like $500, took the whole crate, went home and just started digging. Just started digging and digging and digging, and that's where I found I keep forgetting it was Michael McDonald, and I keep forgetting. Was it a single? I think it might have been the single. I don't even think it was the.
Because you probably wouldn't have skipped through the whole album.
Yeah.
Or would you?
I think it was the single. No. That was the album. It was Michael McDonald's. It was the album. And cause when I first heard it, I said, oh my God, if I sample this and rap on this would be way different from what anybody doing. And I sampled that mug. I just sampled it, and I just started building it slowly, just went step by step. I came with my kick right up under it. Then I added an 808 kick right up to match with my kick. Then started doing my hi-hats and snares.
So you building this?
Yeah, I built it, just constantly built it after I pieced it together, because I had to piece that like one pad, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I had to keep hitting the pads. and I put it together, and I what we used to do was do introductions on records. So I wanted to do an introduction, and I don't know how the fuck regulate came to my mind, but we used to always say things like, let's regulate the scene, let's regulate. Hey, regulate them broads over here. Or you got to regulate that. You know, that was our word at the time. And so I was like, let me come up with a title that's talking about something that we like a name or something. So I said regulate. And I had started calling it regulate before anything else. I named the beat, and that's what I was going to name that song. I said, this is going to be called Regulate. So watching movies, and I always watch the same movies over and over again. Maybe Weird Science, Young Guns, and all that stuff, 16 Candles. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching Young Guns, and the dude said, we work for Mr. Tinsdale as regulators. When he said that, I started looking at the numbers on the VCR. So I started following the numbers. I followed the numbers all the way down. So what I did was, once I followed it to where it stopped, and I heard all the stuff in there, we regulate for and we regulate, and we're damn good too. I pieced all that together. It's really long, that whole scene. And he say stuff, you'd be like, oh damn, he really pieced it together. I took this little piece, that little piece, that little piece, and that little piece, and I came out of my VCA. I came out of my VCR, RCA jacks to quarter-inch into the MPC 60. I looked at my numbers. I hit the play on the remote, and it started playing, and I just hit the record button on each one of those parts. I would stop it. Oh my God. Boom, and hit each part. Boom, and sample each part. And once I sampled it, and I truncated everything and put that stuff together, I was like, this shit
Were
is
you
hard.
building this by yourself? Did Nate not know
I was
what you were
all
building?
by myself. Nate he wasn't even there. I called Nate. I said, Nate, I got a dope-ass beat I want you to get on. I said, let's do a song like how Snoop and Dre did G-Thing. Let's do one where we're going back and forth. And so he was like, all right, I'm on my way. So Nate came. We was in there. We was drinking Hennessy, smoking bud. You know, boom, I started playing Regulate. You know, I was like, nigga, this shit is hard. Like, he was like, this is dope. So we just sitting there bouncing. And he like, shit, he said, set it off. Like, go ahead and set it off, Warren. So I was like, I was kind of stuck. I didn't even really know what to start writing, so I just off the top, it was a clear black night. Because I used to try to, and I'm not going to lie, RBX inspired me a lot too. And you can hear it. Because I said, it was a clear black night. You know, right. RBX be like, RBX. So I was like, it was a clear black night. A clear white moon Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve so I could get some phones, rolling in my ride, chilling all alone. I went from the RBX type thing down to Sir Cool. And Nate just went off of what I said. I freestyled that shit. I swear to God. And then Nate just went right off of that. And that's what gave me the power to start jotting down, going off of what Nate said, because where he ended at, if you listen, I'll continue with a story within that. Because he said we was out looking for some women, because that's what, when I say phones, people say they think I'm saying funk.
What they think
I'm saying funk, right. But I'm saying looking for, trying to get some phones.
Yeah. Like
I mean
numbers?
headphones.
Oh. Headphones. Oh,
we called getting some headphones.
Trying to get some phones. 30 years later. I had no idea, bro.
30 years later.
Like, and I'm telling you, all this time that I've heard Regulate, as many times I played it, as many interviews we had, bro, I never knew that when you say trying to get some phones, I'm thinking phone, man, we rolling out with some females, we trying to get some phone numbers.
Trying to get some head.
Right.
Headphones.
That's fucking genius, bro. Yeah. So when you and Nate are building this song, you already knew it felt different as soon as you heard the sample. You already knew something.
Indeed. Yeah, because nobody was doing anything like that. Not over that kind of music.
And then when Nate come by, he hears it. You say, man, let's do the G thing, Dre and Snoop thing. Let's go back and forth.
I let my dad explode.
You know you're creating magic.
When
you finish, are y'all doing that in your apartment?
We did it right in my apartment.
And one night?
Yeah, it was one night.
And then y'all gotta take
shit everywhere, all kind of shit on the floor. I didn't have no furniture. I had money, but didn't have no furniture. I had an empty living room. I only had a bedroom. I had the bed. That's what we recorded. In the bedroom, in the bathroom, in the bedroom was the vocal booth. Did all
so
that
you
shit.
Creating history.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
In an apartment.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
With dog shit on the floor.
Dog shit on the floor.
No furniture.
No furniture.
Only a bedroom. And is the bathroom the vocal booth?
Bathroom is the vocal booth. Yeah.
So when you finish that night and you're playing it back and you're building this song, what did that feel like?
Shit. I can't even explain the feeling because
you knew
I had it's like one of those butterflies on your arms and like the
goosebumps. Hell yeah.
I got the goosebumps. I got every feeling you can imagine that feel good. Like
you knew you tapped into something.
Yeah, I knew.
Were you anxious to play it for people, or did you hold back?
I was anxious, so what I did, first thing I did was run over to all my homeboys. Well, my wife, her brother, Kenny Mack, and all of them. I used to go over there. They used to be our testers because they'd let us know if it's dope or not. So that was our crew. No matter if it was me, Snoop, all of us, we used to test our music with our homeboys because they gonna tell us the truth. So went over there, let them hear it. Them niggas was like, they was like, Warren, that shit is hard. Like that shit, that's harder than anything out. Like that's what they was saying. They was like, this is dope.
And is that the Regulate we hear now?
Like
nothing was changed up too much, or
nothing was changed. Same one.
He wasn't part of Death Row at all. He wasn't part of Death Row. He was part of Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? He was part of Def Jam.
Did you play it for Snoop? Or did he hear it later?
I play it for? Well, Snoop probably heard it later.
Right. What about Dre?
I played it for Dre. He heard it.
Did Dre not like that one?
He wasn't into it. He wasn't into it. He was bodyguard hard. I ain't gonna lie.
He couldn't hear it, huh?
He couldn't hear it.
But you just had this feeling. When Dre told you that he couldn't hear it, does that knock you down, or do you say no?
No.
Appreciate it, bro.
Like,
Appreciate it.
shit, I don't know what this motherfucker dope. I don't care what the fuck Dre talking about. This motherfucker's hard.
So where do you take it?
But his homeboy.
Oh.
His homeboy was like, nigga, this shit is hard as fuck. Let me take this to Jimmy. Mike Lynn.
And they try to take it to Jimmy Iovine?
He took it to Jimmy.
And then what? It gets placement?
Just like Endo Smoke happened, where they called me and said, this is the first single for Poetic Justice. Jimmy called and had them call me and say, this is the first single for Above the Rim soundtrack, hands down.
So when you know you got placement on Above the Rim, are you thinking like, man, this is Interscope, this is Def Jam, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens with the bounce around?
That's when all of, like, that's kind of like, I mean, mind you, I'm still working on my album. I'm still doing records. I'm doing all my shit. And this got placed while I was working, for the Above the Rim while I was working. And by the time that the steam went down on that record, I was finished with my record. So what Def Jam did, and I think this is why Suge was so pissed off, is that they took even though we used a record label was pushing Above the Rim, we did a whole new photo shoot, a whole new everything, packaged everything, and we released that shit like it was a brand new single again. And it was kind of, that motherfucker took off again. Bam! But it still was, the steam was off of this still, but it was like, oh shit. Boom, that shit blew up. My album sold almost 4 million records off of after this one sold 4 million records, this one sold 4 million records.
Did that create a funk, though? No pun intended.
Well, I think that's what caused that. I think that's what it did. That would cause it, because Suge didn't like Leor. I don't think he ever liked Leor, even though he had to function with him, because Leor came down to the What's My Name video shoot.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He was scared.
Right.
Suge he was there, Suge, but Suge wasn't tripping then. But I think that this happened later on. That was around when I got signed, when Leor came down, because Snoop put me in the video with him. He was like, Warren, I want you to get in my video, my first single. And Leor came down while I was there, and he was scared. He was scared. Hell yeah. But when that happened, I think that's what really set it off, to where he was like, oh, these motherfuckers, they got me. And they got the guy I should have had over here.
But you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there, man. How did that feel, Warren, that it was you? Like you on, and your name is on the marquee, and your name is on the album that's selling millions of copies.
It felt incredible.
And you're in the front, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
There's a position that it felt like you would play, but now it's like.
Yeah, I was on the same level. Like, me and Snoop was on the same level. Me, Snoop, and Dre was all on the same level. Man, it was cracking.
Are you
records.
shy?
A little bit.
Are you reserved, shy?
A little bit. Yeah.
Like, you don't seem like limelight.
I don't. I mean,
you don't.
Every now and then, I like to turn up.
You know how to.
Yeah, I like to turn up, and have fun. But most of the time, I just like to. I'm more of a listener, and I like to sit in the cut and just like.
Where did Regulate in that album? Where did that take you to, bro?
Man.
It got you out the country.
It got me out the country.
Got you on TV, radio, video, visual. People knew who you were.
Yeah.
Was that crazy to you? That people knew who you were outside of Long Beach, or just outside, period? Like, around the world.
Yeah, it took me to just like I said, the feeling was just incredible, man. It just took me to a space to where I could finally say, I feel good. I'm happy. I done made it. I done finally made it. I got a record out that's platinum, selling platinum more, selling this much every week. I just felt
Did you ever
just so
doubt yourself?
happy. I never doubted myself.
But you were
I just from like different letdowns had me like kind of like damn, shit, or this, that, but like I said, a feeling built up in me to where it was like, you know what? Anything, it was like anything that I don't want to say against me. It just made me work harder. Like anything that I would go through would just make me work harder because I wanted to feel good and I wanted to be better, better and better.
Did you ever feel depression?
Definitely. I felt a lot of depression, even when I was doing my thing, because at the same time I'm enjoying all of this success, but I can't enjoy it with you guys. You know, until later on, like Dre got in the Do You See video. You know, Snoop came and supported me at like my video shoots.
Hey y'all, so we're shut it down. We're not gonna be up here all night. Salute to Warren G. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Everybody in the building. Let's see what we did today. See what we rocking with. What you did. $45,000. Salute to everybody pulled up, man, to 45,000, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Salute to everybody. Appreciate all y'all, man. I'm going. My Discordians, you already know I'm coming. I'm playing with y'all one more way. Please. Everybody Discord, y'all already know what time it is. I'm going to be playing for Discord.